What is up? What is up? Welcome, welcome. Oh, welcome. Hey, love me always. Blacks for Trump. Girl, we gonna get him in here. You know what it is. Hey, Tracy. Hey, Awesome Kelly. Shout out to everybody coming up in the building. I have missed you guys. I really have. And I had to come back and do this live and let you guys know how much I truly do appreciate each and every one of you. I do. Whether you stay in the chat, whether you stay in the bushes, whether you communicate with me behind the stage or not, you still have showed me your support. And I have nothing but gratitude and respect for y'all. Hey, my boo. What up, Shay? Hey, baby. I love you. Hey, Jacia. Hey, Tawana. Hey, Deanna. Hey, Earth. Hey, boo. Girl, I've been meaning to call you, but y'all, I've been going through it. And um, I put out a community post uh, last week about a mentor that I was blessed to have. His name was Bro Panic, and he was a leader in the conscious community. And I don't get to speak a lot about, my spiritual beliefs and things of that nature to you guys. But it hurt. It hurt bad because he was one of the people that I was thinking of reaching out to um a couple of weeks ago because I wanted to make a change and I wanted his direction, and I saw where he was going to have another class starting. And just as I was procrastinating on reaching out to him, I saw he died, or he transitioned, is what they call it. And he was an amazing man, very spiritually there. Okay. I learned a lot from him for watching his videos and studying up under some of the other people that he was with. And when he came to my town, I got the opportunity to meet him in person. At the time, I was really, going through some things spiritually that I didn't quite understand. I didn't know where to go. And he got me together in like 3, 2, 1. And it put a lot on my back. It did. Um, Whenever I have come on a platform, y'all, I have been myself. Okay. And there are different aspects of myself that I have opened up to you all. And most of them I'm not proud of. I'm not. Um, when I started YouTube, my first channel, it wasn't like that. I was only given knowledge and things of that nature and got hardly any views. So, Wicked Angel is the name that I used for years. It was given to me by my social club that I was vice president of. And she's more bold, she's more colorful, she's in your face with it. Okay. And it worked. Shout out to Polar. I've mentioned him a couple of times over here, but I really want you guys to know I came from a sector that had something great. Okay. Shout out to Chef Octopi. Shout out to I Am Her, who belonged to that sector. Um, there are a bunch of very talented individuals, very colorful, and I love them. I do. We've had our ups, we've had our downs. We've got Max Boogie up in we got Max Boogie up in this thing. And y'all, that is the mother of the sector. Of the sector. And they allowed me to be just as wild as I wanted it to. And it used to be fun, y'all. It did. It did. And as we grew, so did our egos. Our egos got in the way. but there is something sound in the opportunity that they gave me as well as themselves. And y'all, when I tell you, we all are stars in our own right. We all choose our own ways, and we are not the ones to play with. Y'all know that. And it has been nothing but a blessing, a blessing. So shout out to Polar Gang. Shout out to Max Boogie. Shout out to I Am Her. Shout out to Chef Octopi, okay, who I call Kermit. Okay, he is a frog, a real living frog, but he can cook. Um, and helped me to develop my character. Now, a lot of us aren't friends anymore. Some of us are forever going to be friends. And that led me to this sector. And God bless y'all, because y'all didn't even know what a sector was. Okay. Okay. And I used the same things that I was taught up under Polar. And God bless him. So we were rocking and we were rolling, y'all. And I met many more people that I've grown to actually love and always will. Shout out to Trendy Treats. Hey, baby. What up, Geneva? And I grew attached, not to the channel, but to the amount of people that give me support on the scene, behind the scenes, and in front. Okay. But y'all, I've been hurting. I have been hurting, and I can't hide it any longer. Um, the reason for me coming to YouTube was to help people. It was to share my knowledge and my wisdom. And seeing all the ugliness in people, seeing all the envy that people can have and tear each other down, I never wanted to be a part of. Um, I have dreams, I have goals, and I've accomplished quite a lot of them. And in my personal life, I'm happier than I've ever been, y'all. That's the truth. And I want everybody to feel that. And I see people suffering, so it bothers me. It really hurts me. Now, most of my views have come because, of course, the Crier family, you know. Um, those of you know, I gave my all to being a friend to Erica and helping her to get where I felt she wanted to go. And it breaks my soul because the truth is, she's in her own way. And like a lot of our women, she doesn't understand the sacrifice it is in becoming a parent. And you look at me, a woman that's middle aged, you know, who have had so many opportunities that I let go of because I chose to be a wife and a mother, and now come full circle to where I'm free again. I can do what I want to do. And she takes it for granted. So I know y'all think I just wanted to hop on her head, but the truth is, I still was praying and hoping that something would seep in to that thick ass skull of hers. Because for whatever reason, she has a following. She has a following. And I didn't want to leave you all without saying what needed to be said. So I'd give my all and then I'd get off of here and feel empty inside because I didn't feel like any of these shows matter. I didn't feel like any of these shows were going to benefit you guys. So, believe it or not, it's only going to get better. It's only going to be better. And Although I'm not going to be beefing with anyone, not going to be arguing with anyone, I promise I'm going to entertain you. I'm going to give you a show and I'm going to talk and hopefully reach other people. But you all are my babies. Like, it was so hard to make this decision because y'all didn't leave me. A couple of you did. But even then, when they left, they still come in the bushes. I truly, truly just want to be better because y'all is getting scary out there. It really is getting scary out there. And even when we have children that are on the right track, it only takes that one child that slipped through the cracks and isn't on the right track to harm ours, you know? And I can't be a part of that. Now I belong to a group of people that believe that you could fight. That fighting brought character, you know? The person being bullied had to stand up to the bully. And it showed them that they didn't have to fear. Nowadays, people, they're cowards. Nowadays, these children don't have character. Nowadays, they're programmed more than ever from things like this YouTube, the app that we're using. What up, South Memphis? Shout out to you, baby. Pep, I could care less about her having a baby. Yeah. Well, let me tell you this. Let's be clear. Yeah, I'm very sad that she had that baby. I am. I'm very sad because she didn't need any more children that she couldn't take care of. She doesn't have the love of a man to help support her and had to come on YouTube begging for you all to take care of that baby. So, yeah, I feel sorry for her and I feel sorry for that baby that she hasn't even put enough time. Hold on, y'all, I'm plugging my Mac up. That she hasn't even had enough time to potty train her second child. Okay? Yeah. And that's sad. Okay? So, yeah, I'm very sad. I'm looking at a beautiful baby now. Oh my goodness, an angel. And hopefully you guys might get to meet him later too. But that's the truth. It's a sad situation. It's not a situation that should be glorified. And it's not a situation that deserves people talking about it. And if you look around, you see how quiet it's been. So that should give you an indication just how sad of a situation that we content creators know it is. Facts, Bianca. Facts, Deanna. Now, I've been a single mother and I've been married. So I'm not trying to put it out there like a woman can't take care of a child by itself. I know single fathers who take care of children by themselves. So that's not the case. The case is this particular young lady has done nothing other than laid on her back and had multiple children and have she hasn't learned from any of them. They haven't taught her anything and she hasn't taught them much. Facts, Heaven Brown. Everybody deserves a second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and gone up chance. Okay, until we have our last breath. That's when you should give up. So I'm going to pray that that's what she does, that she opens her eyes and continues on her path to grow. But no, this isn't anything about her. This right here is about me and you guys. Hey, YouTube cameras. Hey, Miss Zodiac Cancer. Welcome to the building, y'all. Just give me a second, y'all. I'm gonna put this song on and I'll be right back. Thank you for everybody coming up in the building. If you hit the like button, I really appreciate it. Hey, vegan kitty, how you doing? Um, but just give me a moment, put this song on, and then we're gonna continue with the show. All right, guys, I'm back. Sorry, y'all. You can tell when my head's at today. Okay, shout out to boys, the motherfucking men, baby. Okay. Oh no, Bianca, don't be sad. And I just had to come here and let you guys know just how much I do appreciate all of you. And to also spread some good news. With bad comes good, but everything comes to an end. That's why we don't have a second to waste. We don't have a moment. I cannot keep giving and feeding my energy to what doesn't serve me. And trying to talk to a thick-headed skull, chick that people feel sorry for, and people, have gotten programmed into believing is entertainment, just can't be it. It can't be it, y'all. So I'm hoping that you guys will follow me on my new endeavors. I hope you guys will want to continue to watch the show. But if you don't, I get it. I get it. Because, of course, a lot of my subs did come from the Crier family. But there's so much more out there. All of us have a story. And y'all, at this point in my life, God has blessed me. I have an amazing job. It's not easy. I work a lot of hours, but it's for a reason. I'm purchasing another home, things that I thought I could never do without my ex-husband. I have beautiful grandchildren. I have an amazing man. You know, God has blessed me, and I want to bless some of you all. Shout out to West Adams up in the building. Shout out to Reese Cup. And that's just it. That girl needs help. And possibly if I leave her alone, maybe she'll get it. But just coming on here and saying that she's changed and she's going to do things positive, don't, please spare me. Spare me. Okay? Spare me. If she had changed so much, then she would have first apologized to all the people that she snaked that have tried to help her out. We made her look good. And now the time has come to just say goodbye. That's it. Thank you, Blacks for Trump. You already know. Thank you, Deanna. That's so sweet. Thank you, guys. Hey, Val. Thank you, Tracy. And that's why I just have tried to stay away to get out of the algorithm. I'm surprised it's 112 in the building. Because, like I said, I know I haven't been live. I've been trying to get out of that algorithm. And just like I said, y'all, just get ready for a better show, more entertainment. Okay? We have the ability to change part of the world. Okay? Believe it or not, we can do it. We can by helping ourselves. I'm more interested in stories that you all have. Okay? So if you do have a story that you would like me to cover, you can email me at wickedangeltv@gmail. But I must tell you, the name is going to change. Okay? They have killed Wicked Angel. Okay? So the name won't be Wicked Angel. I won't be beefing. You ain't gonna get me cursing people out. Okay, but you are going to get some good stories. Okay. Also, what's going to change is the fact that now y'all know I love Lance, right? Y'all know I love big Lance. Okay. Matter of fact, shoot, let me text him. Lance is of course gonna be around. Okay. We're gonna do the show in a different format, and he's excited about the change. I definitely am. But guys, not only did I meet Lance, which is an extremely intelligent, well put together brother, but I met another person equally as strong, intelligent, and I don't want to say attractive because I don't really look at him like that. And he got a woman, okay? Okay, ladies, because I know how y'all do. I know how y'all do. But this brother has his stuff together, and I'm going to let him tell you more, of course, about who and how and what he is, and, about and whatnot. But he too is going to come on. Okay. So it'll pretty much be the three of us as co hosts, and we'll be doing interviews. We'll be doing segments, and we'll be talking about other things that are in the news that could actually inspire people, inform people, as well as expose some of the things that are going on in today's world. Okay. Now, let me see. Hold on. Are you ready to come up, special person? No, it's 7:24. I told him to come up at 7:30, guys. Hold on one second. Let me see if he's ready to come up. You ready to come up? Give me a thumbs up when you're ready to come up. You ready to come up? Give me a thumbs up. Hold on, guys. Let me see if I can get in there. Hold on, y'all. We having technical difficulties. Sure, Deanna. It's Wicked Angel TV at Gmail. Okay. All righty. Okay, so guys, like I just told you, I met another amazing person that, cares about his community. He's a stand up guy, an amazing father, very intelligent, got his stuff together. And he wants to come on YouTube, to come on the board and pop his stuff because he ain't all that square, It's just well rounded. Okay. Introducing my new co-host. Okay. So y'all, please, can you put some claps, put something in the stage, and let's welcome Mr. TY. Can you hear? Are you here? You can turn the camera off. Oh, that baby's cute. We can't hear you. You'll have to click the allow camera. You gonna make me turn my camera on. Oh, that baby cute. Can you hear us? Say something. I see you talking. We can't hear you. Hold on. Let me see if it's on my end. Let me make sure. Let me see if I can. Uh, T, I can't hear you. Hold. Okay. Okay, Trendy. Look, hold on, guys. I'm gonna give him a call and let him know we can't hear him.
Can you hear me?
Bam! Boy, I was
You hear
about to.
me? You hear me?
Welcome. We can hear you. And oh my
Can you
gosh,
hear me?
your baby is gorgeous. Oh my gosh.
There I go.
There you go.
In the building. Let's go.
In this
Let's
building.
get it. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Hey, come on. Let's see if
So,
we can make this thing.
Mr. T to the Y, how are you tonight?
Hold up. I am having some major technical. Give me a second. Let me see if I can work this out. Hold on, I
All
gotta get my light straight. I'm tripping right. We having some light difficulties, y'all. Y'all gotta give me a second.
That's why I don't do
Okay,
it.
there we go. There we go. There we go. So good. Say hey there, everybody.
Hey, little TY, how are you? Oh my gosh, he is just amazingly gorgeous. Good gracious.
Hey,
Hey, young man, are
what's
you into
going on, everybody? How y'all doing?
I've got a grandbaby that, hey, we can set this up now. We need to keep it elite. Hey, oh, he's gorgeous. God, okay, so TY, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
I was
Appreciate
telling
you.
you, oh, you're welcome. This is my platform, and I was just about to start crying and everything, because I was letting people know that we'll be making a lot of changes around here. And I started getting happy because I looked down and I saw you and that handsome young man. I'm thinking, this isn't the end. This is the beginning. What am I so sad about? Ugh, I'm a crybaby. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to.
I got like a little reverb going on right now.
Well, just know that I appreciate you, like, for who you are, and I'm interested in the people getting to know a little bit about you. So, do you mind telling us a little bit about your background or who you are?
Give me one sec. I don't know what's going on. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you fine.
I don't know if you hear me. It seems like a little bit of reverb's going on right now, but it's great that if you can't understand me, let me know.
I can hear you. Like, can you hear us? Reverb. Like, guys, we get a microphone check? Like, can you hear him? Okay?
My name is TY. I can hear you perfectly.
Okay, we can hear you perfectly.
Okay. Well, my name is TY. I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm the father of one. I'm just grateful to be a part of this, man. I'm so glad to be a part of your new, being a bridge to your new future, truthfully. Because again, like I said before, Wicked, I've been following you for a little while too, and it's great to be able to, be connected with the people who have supported you throughout this time. I know this is a very, very, how can I say, a somber time right now. But it's always kind of new. It's always kind of weird when you start a new beginning. So I'm glad to be a part of that. A little bit about me. Again, I told you I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina, a graduate of North Carolina A&T State University.
Let's go, Aggie.
Okay, Aggie Pride. My brother of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. I've worked in a lot of aspects. I've been a teacher. I was a teacher for about 15 years. I worked in a lot of politics, worked on different sides of the aisle. For a lot of people, I've actually ran for office myself. So to come to current events, anything that's affected this nation, our community as a whole, that's something that is really, really important to me. I love conversation. And for the next show, I can't wait to have fun, really.
Oh yeah, we go light it all the way up.
You gotta light it up, baby.
Light it up, guys.
Let's just keep it like we always do it. You know what I'm saying? We always have a good time.
Yes. Look, so Earth says loving that ring he's got on. Is it onyx?
Oh yes, onyx. That's onyx right there. I got that one. That was my Masonic ring right here too. So yeah.
Okay. So you said you were in politics.
Yeah.
So what do you think about what's going on as far as like in the political arena now?
Well, right now I think we're at a turning point. I think us as a community is at a turning point as well. I think right now for us as a community, we're no longer just voting a certain ways because we've been doing that for a very long time. I think we're starting to really wake up and start to make decisions based off of what's going on in our communities. One thing I see about our community is very, very important to us is education, crime, as well as our economic status. We're at the turning point. So at the end of the day, people have to really pay attention to the direction that we're going as a community. Because at the end of the day, too, there's also a lot of factors that are changing the magnitude of the black vote. You have a lot of, and no disrespect to anybody, but you have a lot of new Hispanics that are coming. A lot of changes. We become the third largest minority. We still have a very, very important voice, but at the same time, too, we're starting to wake up and pay attention. So you got to work. So when it looks at whatever side of the aisle, it's no longer just vote who, no matter who. It's basically we're going to pay attention to these candidates. We see what's going on in our community right now. We see what's going on in our nation right now. And so at the end of the day, I think this election right here is a turning point. And I also believe that you have to have these conversations. You have to have real conversations, not just ask. You got to go in between the lines and really, really look at certain policies, how they're affecting us as a community, and at the same time, too, you got to take action. So at the end of the day, for me, I've been on both sides of the aisle. I consider myself a conservative today. I started as a liberal. As life started happening, I started realizing, especially into a lot of black men who are moving into the conservative wing. And at the same time, too, we just gotta wake up. Wake up, have conversations, keep each other civil, and realize at the end of the day that we're all in this thing together. So that's kind of my take right now. We'll talk a little bit more about that new show started, but you'll definitely know what side and where and how I actually believe where I'm going.
I like that. Thank you, my brother. Now, we will be having, like I said, segments, guys. So don't think we're just going to turn it into a political show. But this is a person that ran for office. So I'm sure he does have a lot of insight as to what's going on all over the world. Okay. Now we are going to be having fun. Okay. So don't get it twisted.
It's all about having fun, baby. I love to have some fun, y'all. I'm telling you.
Of course. Okay. We are going to be talking about current events, guys, things that are popular in the media, such as there was an incident, of course, this past weekend. I'm sure you guys have heard about it with Tamar Braxton and Krishan Rock. We'll be studying and we'll be talking about things like that. But I want us to dive a little bit deeper than just reporting it. I want to have discussions about it because I think that it's important for us to realize that everything that we're being subjected to on this social media isn't for our own good. Okay. So that's just one of the stories. Another story that, oh my gosh, I cannot wait to get into is about a woman that is currently in power. Okay. She in a town called Dobie, Illinois. Okay. She is.
Wow, we got to talk about this one, man.
Yes, she is known as the city girl mayor. Okay, I said it right. Okay, when I tell you it is a hot mess, this woman has been abusing her power to unbelievable levels. Okay, so we'll be doing a story not only about her, but definitely going deep and following that story very closely to see what happens. What are the repercussions of someone abusing their power and taking advantage of our people? Because the city where she's at, it's what is it, Ty? I think it was like 81% black. I don't want to miss. I've got notes, but I didn't pull them up since we weren't really going to do that show tonight. But guys, it's a mess. It really is. So if you want to know more about it before I do the show, you're welcome to hit me up at wickedangeltv@gmail and I'll respond. Or if we're already talking on my Instagram, you can reach me there. I am going to be, of course, starting a new Instagram. Okay, gonna start a new Instagram, but you still can, of course, hit me up on my old one. Okay, but I am gonna ask that you follow me on my new one, just because that one I'll be posting. Okay. What are some of the other things that you want to talk about, Mr. T to the Y?
Well, you know what? I mean, I want to tell everybody, man, just stay tuned, man. We're gonna have a great conversation, a great story, man. Like I said before, Wicked Angel has, set the tone, has definitely created a following, and we want to extend that, man. We want to bring in, more people, more perspectives. We want to look at these things, like I said, between the lines. We want to go deep into these things. So one thing about me is I'm very, very thorough as it relates to making sure that, we really look more than what's the media puts forth. So again, I just tell everybody, just stay tuned, man. Pay attention. I know this is a somber change right here, but this is an even better beginning, man. So I'm glad to be a part of this. I'm just so happy right now, for real.
Yes.
And I'm just grateful. This is my first YouTube experience, so I can't wait to see exactly where this thing goes.
Yes. And guys, he wants us to actually do it. We'll be doing it in a podcast format. So yes, I'll be cammed up. We actually have an office to use, and we're gonna have some fun. Like I said, just get ready, okay? To my members, I'm still gonna be, of course, giving you guys exclusive content. So please be ready for that. That is where the majority of receipts will be going. Okay, so if you have a membership, keep it. It's going to be well worth your money. The only thing that's different is we are not going to be talking about people not being worth talked about. Okay, exactly, Earth. We got to grow, baby. We got to do some good. And it's just so many people that I have contacted, that have contacted me, that watch my show, that are so intelligent. We come from all kind of different walks and paths.
Right.
And we all have a message that we want to give and share. So that's what this channel is going to be about. Okay. I do want to be myself at all times. So we will be having, like I said, a little bit more fun. And y'all, I apologize. I was supposed to be hitting Lance up. God darn it. Hold on. Just a second. Okay, so do any of you have any questions for TY while I call Big Daddy Lance?
Let me know. I'm here, man. Oh wow, Big Daddy.
Oh, thank you, Diana. Thank you, baby. You're welcome to join. Yeah, like this is what it'll be about. Okay, y'all, hold on a second. Just give me a moment. Okay, so Earth asks, what advice do you have for the youth? Hey, Trina.
Report. What advice I have for the youth, man? At the end of the day, make sure that you just be open-minded, to information. I know for me as a young man, again, I told you on my political spectrum, things are going to change. Life experiences change. I was a liberal. I was on the left because I had that compassion. I was taught certain ways, but then at the end of the life, right, you start having to pay bills. You start having family. You start realizing things with cash. We all, and even when it comes to young people, I always say be receptive to information. Recognize that one day you'll take over. You'll be my age. You know what I'm saying? Life continues to go on. I just got a quick story. There was a young man who I saw in the community who was being very disrespectful to an older guy one day. And he said, move out my way, old man. You're taking too long. And then the old man just turned around and told him, he said, young man, some young man is going to tell you the same thing when you become my age, because you got to get there first. And I had to realize, you know what? This thing continues to go on. And it's up for us to pass on to the next generation, because at the end of the day, we all have to get a little bit older and wiser. At the same time, too, like I said, just make sure that you just respect them and understand at the end of the day, we're going to disagree. But when you disagree with someone, don't be disrespectful. Don't be disrespectful, but understand at the same time, we all think totally different. But at the same time, I'm here to pass on what was passed on to me, and it's your obligation to the next generation.
Okay, next question was, what are you all about outside of politics?
Oh
Let me
man,
tell them. Can I tell them? No, I'm
you
only
know,
kidding.
outside of politics, man, I'm a family man. I really am a family man. I come from a household where my father was not in my life. I became a father, at the age of 42 years old. I ran a wild life. I really did. But then I recognized at the end of the day that the example, the importance of having my legacy. I love my son. He carries on my name. I work hard every day. I come home to my family and I provide. And the same thing too with me. I love singing. I love music. Love live music. I love concerts. Um, and at the same time, I love family. So it's not really, like I said before, I have not been. I've lived in different places. I lived in New York, California, LA. I've been around, I've been in different countries. Um, it's no place like home. So I'm just grateful for my experiences. Um, and I'm just grateful that, I just have people who are in my corner. That's,
Okay. Another question. Do you support prison reform?
say that one more time.
Do you support prison reform?
I do support prisons reform. I do because at the end of the day, a lot of people don't realize too that um, and they don't think about that too when they talk about the 1994 crime bill, right? They put us in different. They put the African American community. They've always been there. Even past the crime bill, man. Us as a black community has always been subjected to law enforcement and things like that, unfair penalties and unfair prison times and things like that. I do believe at the end of the day that a person has served their time, that they've been an upstanding individual in the community, and we got to take a look at some of these things to start that. I've seen a lot of individuals who were supportive of his view when he did that. Looking at these individuals for what their prison times were. So at the end of the day, I do support that. Um, but I also realize too, even today, that you know, crime is just running rampant, man. You have a lot of people now that I know, but we got a lot of people right now that's not really paying attention to. I do believe in prison reform.
Okay. And like my thing is, I do believe people can change, and
I
I
do
believe
too.
it's
Yeah,
important that we do make sure people do pay for crimes that are committed. Because let's be clear, we have to have a society where we stand on morals and values. But I do believe that in that system, it should be ways of merit to
right,
get, like they should be able to show the change. Like I know some of the prisons were partaking in education, things of that nature, and I've known a couple of people that went through the system, took advantage of the educational system, they never went back. And I think a lot of times, especially in our community, these people get locked up far too
right.
young to even know what they're dealing with or how they're dealing with it. And because there's not enough to rehabilitate, they're pushed in the system, or out the system, into nothingness. And a lot of times they become repeat offenders. So I would love to be able to work on something that would change that, because I believe that everybody deserves a chance to be, their best self. And just because they made those choices, at their 20s, they wouldn't do it at 30s, and so on and so on. Okay, so Deanna asked, okay, what are your thoughts about being charged with a RICO, like the R. Kelly case?
Rico, the R. Kelly case, are also the cases they also charged former President Trump with, and also that's the same case. That's the same case that Trump also being charged with in Georgia, Rico. So again, that was a case that was actually created for gangsters and mobsters and stuff like that, organized crime. So um, are you asking me about Rico in general, or are you asking me for a specific case? That's what
Can
I
you
need.
elaborate, Deanna? Let's give her a chance to respond. And guys, I talked to Lance. He's putting his TV together, but he said he was ready to come on. Well, I'll say something about the Rico. Look, I know you what your thoughts are about Kales. Oh, you want to know what your thought? You want to know what his thoughts are about R. Kelly? Do you think R. Kelly got a fair trade? Can I say something about that? I want to speak about that.
Well, go ahead and talk about that when it comes to R. Kelly.
Okay, so I grew up, of course, where R. Kelly was one of the kings of R&B. Okay, a couple of my children were made off of R. Kelly, so the man is a genius when it came to music, right?
I think a lot of Gen Zers were made off for R. Kelly.
Yeah, but it totally blows my mind how he was able to take advantage of young ladies as he did for so long. And it wasn't just him, he had a whole team of people that were helping him to get these young ladies and take advantage of them. So in that case, I would have loved if not only him, but the people that actually helped him would have also been charged. You know, y'all know how I feel about pedophiles and people who harm the children in that way. Um, I do believe that there's a lot more to this story that hasn't come out. It's sort of like he took the fall for a lot of people that were just as dirty, if not dirtier, than him. And I also think that in the entertainment world, that was a given that you could do. I think that we've seen from things like Pizzagate that they've tried to wash over, that this was actually something that was going on right before our eyes for years and years and years and years. Okay. We see what happened with him, but we also see what they did with Bill Cosby. Okay, so Earth says, do you think that the government, FBI, CIA, all of them as forms of gangs or the biggest gangs in America?
I'm having like an issue when it comes to like the reverb. It's like two different conversations. I'm trying to. So if it seems like I'm delayed in between, it's just I'm.
Okay, you might need to go down and come back in.
Okay.
Sometimes that.
Yeah, let me try to do that. Give me a second.
Okay. Okay, guys. Like, yeah, I thank y'all for asking them questions and things of that nature. Yeah, facts, awesome. And that's one of the things that blew my mind, because you're thinking how young these young ladies were. Why was he able to be around them? I mean, like, look at Aaliyah, for God's sakes. You know, when Aaliyah came out and they were making music together, I just remember, you know, her music and being into the music, not really thinking about he and her as an item, so to speak. But I do remember when the news came out saying that they were married. And I do remember being a teenager at that time thinking, what? You know, like, he married her, but it wasn't an uproar. Okay, it wasn't an uproar. And that's sad when you think about it. Okay, Trendy, when he comes back up, he's trying to get his little sound and stuff together. But yeah, that's why I like TY, because even though he is involved in, or was involved in politics, like he said, he was a teacher. Just overall, he cares about the community. Okay, so he's not just about politics. Okay,
I think we got it now. I think I got it. I think I got it.
Hey, Reviews and More.
What's going on, everybody? I'm back.
TY. I'm talking about TI, Lord. TY. She's a teacher as well. She's in the educational system. Okay. So Reviews and More. I know you just coming in. This is my new co-host, TY. He was pretty much just introducing himself and kind of taking some questions, okay?
And this is my co-host Jordan right here, guys. I didn't even introduce Jordan.
Hey,
Hey, y'all.
Jordan. Yeah,
Hey, man, this is Jordan. Jordan, say hey to everybody. Hey, that's Jordan.
He's too cute.
He's my co-host tonight. I'm on daddy duty tonight. So hey, that's what it's all about. Black men, black fathers, man. Shout out to black fathers, man. For real, we are out here.
Yes, yes, and black teachers. That's pretty cool.
And black teachers, you know, we are out here, man.
So Matt, okay, so what grades did you teach?
I taught sixth grade. Middle school.
Okay.
I taught sixth grade for 15 years.
Wow.
And I left in 2020.
So Matt asked, what changes did you notice in the sixth graders that you taught than when you were a sixth grader?
Oh gosh, I went to junior high school. It's middle school.
Well, that's 85.
It's a different thing, right? I was in junior high school, so sixth grade stopped at you were the big dogs when you you in junior high school. You know, it was a little bit different. But sixth graders, man, I mean, that's the transition. You know, I love sixth grade because they come from elementary school. When they first come in, they're still got the elementary school. They're kind of scared. They're going to middle school. And so you're able to implement certain things very, very early. They don't get tainted by the middle school experience. So by the time you got to put together a system really, really early, man, really early, for they know exactly how you work. And you set the tone for them, by the time the second semester, now they got a little middle school in them, they start to feel themselves. Now, one thing I did not touch was seventh grade, they're in the middle. But one thing I see right now with these kids now, we're a lot more innocent now. Social media has changed that. I'm considered a Gen Y and a Gen X.
Okay.
I'm a Gen X and a Gen Y because I was born in 1980, so that was the last year of the Gen X, but I was born in December of 80. So I'm pretty much millennial.
So you claiming that Y, boy?
I'm gonna claim that Y, baby. But it was also the transition though, because I came from the transition before cell phones and also when cell phones started, before social media, the internet, and when the internet started. I know how to use a typewriter. You know what I'm saying? I know what a rotary phone is. But I also I know what a pager is. I know what a phone booth look like. But at the same time, too, I also recognize too that we were the first to have cell phones, and the first to enter the internet. I know that dial up America Online. You remember that back in the day? You know what I'm saying? That back in the day, but at the end of the day,
when AOL used to call freaking
now these kids have all of this information just right there before their eyes, and then like you talked about before with algorithms. You know what I'm saying? These social media companies, and they gear all this information to these kids. TikTok, we didn't have all that. Facebook came around for me in 2004. And back then in Facebook, you had to have a college account to be on Facebook. So, now all that's out there, and now also a lot of parenting now is done through social media. You see right now what we're doing to kids now, giving these kids tablets at a young age. Hey, these tablets is raising these kids. So now all the information.
Did you get a lot of teacher support? Did you get a lot of support from the parents?
Don't get me wrong. I will honestly tell you, I did get some great support, because you got to realize too, from some families, dealing with the middle school I was a part of too. I've been on both spectrums. I've been a part of, middle schools that were in the inner city, middle schools that were also affluent. So they tried, parents tried, but it totally is different. You have those parents who worked a lot, who couldn't come to the meetings. You had those same things in the affluent. You also had individuals who had more resources that they can give. Different schools that had more resources, but they tried. I can honestly say that I never really had too many problems with parents. Of course, you're going to have some parents who are combative. I come from the time where you just don't question what the teachers say. Now it's a little bit differently. So, but I think the big thing now is when they had that No Child Left Behind, which changed a lot of things. We pushing these kids and pushing them on and pushing them on and pushing them on. If you go to TikTok today, you start to see how teachers are talking about how these kids can't read past the fourth grade. And I seen the same thing. So that was one of the reasons why I left the teaching profession. I felt like I was pushing these kids on. They couldn't read. and I had no choice but to. You know,
Oh my gosh.
I had no choice but to. This kid didn't. This kid's not ready to go, but because of quota, because of politics has really destroyed education. You know, and so I'm pushing these kids off so this principal can look good at his, at the end of the month and at the end of the year. But I'm pushing them on. That made me feel a little bit bad. You know what I'm saying? I know this kid can't read, but I got to keep pushing them on. But I can only do what I'm told. But I try my best to take these kids in. I treated each and every one of them, like they were my own. And so I have a sister right now that's in education right now. So I come from a family of educators, and I appreciate educators because we give our all. But at the end of the day, sometimes we're a lot of times we're blamed for it, but we can only get to do what we can do.
Well, reviews and more. She said, what were the demographics where you taught? She said, I teach in an urban community and it's challenging but rewarding.
Don't get me wrong. I taught in the urban community too, and I'm gonna tell you, I really honestly enjoyed working and teaching in an urban setting than I did in the affluent Caucasian PWI. Those white communities that I was working in, that I was working at before. But working in an urban school, those who you can just see them working hard. It was very, very multicultural. A lot of, again, Black and brown students. A lot of parents who were, willing and open, to do anything possible they could to help their kids. But at the same time, too, you also notice too, those kids appreciate it a little bit more too, So I definitely enjoyed working with, in the urban setting. I worked in the urban setting more than I did, the more affluent neighborhoods. That was towards my last 2 years is when I worked. I worked with special needs kids. I worked with, just regular middle schoolers, AP students, things like that. But, again, that experience of working in communities like my own, that look like me, was very, very rewarding, especially being a Black male. You didn't see a lot of Black male teachers, who were, at the school I was at.
Understandable. Now, what is the reason for that? Do you think it could possibly be that they don't pay enough? Because I've never felt like teachers actually got paid what they deserve.
I don't think teachers do. I think everybody knows that teachers don't get paid what they do, what they have to deal with, and what they put in. Like I remember a lot of times I paid for my own school supplies, especially if you're in an urban environment, an urban school, you have to pay for your own. A lot of supplies you have to pay for. These kids will come to schools without notebooks, without pens, pencils. Their parents can't afford it. So, me having to buy extra just to make sure that these kids have this so they won't fall behind is something, that was just a part of the job. It's not something that when I first started teaching, it was something that I was surprised. But, after a while, you wanted them to make sure that they had the same supplies. You send home a school list, but ultimately, at the end of the day, a lot of times the school list is not going to come out what you asked for, so.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, you guys who in the teaching profession, like for your contribution. That's one of the most important jobs. And may I ask, was it that made you want to run for a seat and get into politics?
I've always been a person who has been about making things better for my community. I think that's something that's been ingrained for me when I was a young kid. My mother was always active in, her church, community groups, making sure we looked out for the community. I didn't grow up in an affluent community. I grew up in a challenged community. But at the same time, too, we helped each other. It was a total different time then. I know that I can get scolded by the lady down the street. She gets I'm going to tell your mom, I'm going to do this, or make sure you get up. It was totally different back then. But that type of community support is something that, it always been ingrained in me. I'm a giving person. I really, that's one thing that burns me up as somebody who's selfish. And when I went to school, I was a part of student government. So by the time I came back, I got involved with the Black Political Caucus here in Charlotte, North Carolina, learning about how government works. Like I said, when I was in school, I love civics. So I understand how government works. It's something that our community needs to be, we need to work harder on showing our community how it works. It's not just always the president, or it's not always the mayor. It's just, it's more than that. It's deeper than that. And so understanding exactly how all politics is local. So when I recognized that, it was just great to be in that predicament. So I ran for office in 2015 for a state senate position. Came in third place. It was first time ever running. From that point on, I started working with different campaigns. I worked on a judge's campaign. She won. I worked on a state senate campaign after that. And then I was tapped to work on the Donald Trump campaign in 2015. And 2015, the end of 2015 through 2016. From that point on, he won. I was able to sit down with him, had a lot of conversation. We talked about that prison reform and things like that. Went to the White House a couple times.
So wait, let me stop you right there. Now, the consensus amongst most of our people is that he doesn't like our color. Did you get any of that from him, from your person?
I did, man. I didn't. I keep telling people, man, before, I'm going to tell you, when I first met Donald Trump, I'm not a person that gets starstruck, but the first thing I ever met with this guy was his charisma, right? He walked in and was very respectful, One thing about him, things that he does not know, he's going to ask questions about. And it started off with a couple pastors, that was bringing their concerns. It wasn't the fact that he was very respectful, sat down and he said, I've never heard this before. Let me talk to my advisor. We'll get back to you on this thing. And then a couple of months later on, I hear that, he started to implement these things. And you have people like Kanye and people like that came to the White House. He's very, very open-minded, when it comes to helping individuals. Like I said, he has a different charisma about himself. What you see on TV is not the person you really sit down with. I didn't feel disrespected by no means. I'll tell you that. And I keep telling people this, what made me think about it was before he ran for president, he was well respected within the Black community. Everybody wanted to be Trump. You know what I'm saying? All the rappers talked about Trump. But it seems like once he stepped into the point of politics, once he got on the other side of the aisle, then that's when the dagger started happening. So for me, recognizing that he was a symbol of success, as it reverts to not even our community, he received awards with Rosa Parks, just seeing these things happen before, like how did this man go from,
thank you, RTC, I appreciate that,
to, a person that they made him look like he's Satan, so I had a whole different respect for him. He wasn't disrespectful at all. And again, like I said before, I did totally better when he was president. So at the end of the day, like I said,
tell me about it.
Some of the things he said, I'm not gonna say that he's the most well-spoken person in the world, but at the end of the day, too, actions speak louder than words. To me, actions speak so much louder than words. And so at the end of the day, when you look outside and pay attention to some of the things he's done, that I can respect it. I really can.
Well, and I thank you for saying that. I do want to do a story about politics. YouTube is a funny place where you can't talk that much about it without getting shadow banned. But I would like to do the history of the Democratic Party, the Liberal Party, as well as the Republicans. And I think people are going to pleasantly be surprised. They're going to learn a lot of things that always what you've been taught is just not what it's been seen and shown. So before I forget, so I don't want to just change pages, but I did forget to mention a comment someone left. They were saying when you were a teacher, did you witness a lot of our children having ADHD or being diagnosed with ADHD?
I did. A lot of that comes, like I said, you have a lot of people don't really look at it. And I know some people look at it as a conspiracy theory, but you also have a generation of kids we don't think about too, who have a lot of chemical imbalances in a lot of urban areas with a lot of students that I looked at too. They also have a parent who has a history of drug abuse. Sometimes we think about whatever happened to the crack baby, a lot of these individuals that cause a lot of issues with children, you know. So I've seen a lot of that too as well. If you look at the history of that part of it too, you have a lot of misdiagnosis too as well. You know that
Mhm.
you know that kid might be rambunctious or he might have a lot of energy, but they might say that dude is you know ADD or ADHD or something like that. So you know, like I said before, I've seen a lot of that. They were so quick to put these kids on drugs. That's big pharma right there. You
Oh
know,
yeah.
community. You know, it's really really deep. But I've seen a lot of that happen. You know, and these kids would come to school medicated, and they seemed like they were zoned all the way out. You know, they were mellowed all the way out. But it
Hmm.
also caused some issues later on
Okay.
when it comes to, you know, a lot of substance abuse issues too as well. You know,
Okay.
consideration.
So give me one moment. We have a guest that wants to come up. I'm gonna allow them to come up. Just give me a second.
All right.
Hey,
Hello, beautiful. How
Hey,
you doing?
hey, beautiful.
hey, I just got recommended to you. I don't know where you came from, but I think it's maybe the algorithm.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
welcome. I hope you stick around.
I hope I do too. I was just tuning in for the past 5 minutes and I decided, hey, let me click the link and come up
Come
here.
on in.
I
Come
heard you guys
on
talking
in the
about.
room.
Okay, so my channels that I typically watch are like conservative and politic channels and stuff like that. Are
Mhm.
you one of those channels? Because I'm like trying to figure out how did you get recommended to me?
Well,
You
well,
guys
he's
kind of
in
sound
the
pro-black.
Illuminati, so they're following him. No, I'm only kidding. Well, let me say, I myself am a conservative as well.
Mm.
However, no, this channel is more entertainment based. We're going to be talking
Oh,
about all kind of
I'm glad you're honest, okay? Because I hear
yes.
so many channels be like, I'm here to do this and do that, and then it's all about drama once you
We
go
keep it
inside the
at
channel.
100. We keep it 100 if you like it, if you don't.
Oh,
Well,
she's a, is that a
exactly.
he or a she? That little baby is so
That's
gorgeous.
a he. This is my
Oh my
son.
God, he's
He's
so
out, y'all. He's
gorgeous.
out, y'all. Y'all
How
didn't put
old
him
is
to sleep.
he?
Huh? He is 9 months.
Oh my God, I can't wait till I get financially stable. I want a baby.
Well, you know
Well,
what? I think it'd be a
see, there
wonderful
you go.
opportunity.
This
Took
channel,
me a
I've
minute to do it, so
pretty
yeah.
much been covering a young lady that is not financially stable, who has a baby with a YouTuber
Mm.
that somewhat has some money. And I was covering that, and it just got to a point where I couldn't take it anymore. I felt like it just wasn't worth, glorifying. It wasn't worth giving that much light to or energy. And if you've noticed, the title of this particular show is Time to Say Goodbye. So I'm ending that. And this is my new co host, Mr. TY. So this is just the introduction, letting the people get a taste of him. And I'm changing the format of the show just to be a little bit more enriching and, just a little bit more colorful and
Mhm.
talk about things that pertain to our people and hopefully do some good.
When you say our people, what do you mean by that?
Our community, all of our people.
Like when you say our community, do you mean like Republican community or Democrat community? Or are you going off of like
All of us.
race?
All of us. I hopefully will make people come over to our side. Okay. And with the liberal mind, because I like TY was saying, I started off as more liberal, and then later on I changed to, the Republican Party. And
See,
it came
me
from doing
is the
research. It came from me
mm,
doing research, okay, about the party. And God rest my mother's soul, but she too was a Republican and part of the Black Republican caucus. So growing up, I never really went in for the whole idea that, if you were black and blue collared, you pretty much were Democrats, and the conservative people were all older white men. It never made sense to me because I would see all
yeah.
in the community that my mother did as a melanated woman. So I want to, and I was telling him before you came up, I'm not sure if you heard the show, but we're actually going to be doing a show about the history of the political
Right.
parties
And,
because I think people would really be shocked if they consider themselves to be the Democrat to know exactly who and what formed the Democratic Party. And not to mention the Republicans that I know, okay, and the people that I know, because I don't deal with people who don't believe, in black excellence. I don't deal with people who are known as prejudiced or wouldn't want the best for our people. So
Oh, see, then you probably wouldn't like me then because I don't believe in a community. Like I believe in everybody. I just think that everyone have an individual. And you know what? before I change the topic, I want to go back on what you said. I was kind of like you in a way, I was, Democrat, oh, everything's racist and this and this and that.
Mhm.
And then and this is when I was like 19, 20. Like it's at the point where I wouldn't even, if a white guy flirted with me, I was like, oh, well, maybe it's because my skin is lighter. If I was darker, she would have never. Like I had this, I just had that mindset of no matter how nice a white person is to me, I just always found something bad about it because of my history, because of what my parents told me. You know what I mean? Because of the environment I was brought around.
Yes. But
yeah.
differently.
And then a whole flip happened because I grew up in foster care, by the way. And I went back around 18, 19, 20, back to my parents. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And they're kind of like the same, still fighting, still drinking, doing all of that at the age of 40, 50. And I just I don't really connect because I was raised by, at the age of 13 when I got put into foster care, I was raised by white people. So it was just kind of, even though I knew racism existed, and it used to mentally bother me as a kid, but when I got older, it's like I would rather deal with a racist white person than deal with the stuff that come with my community or come with Black community.
You said something very, very important to me. You talked about racism. You talked about within the Black community, and that's something we don't talk about. I'm like you. I'm really like you. Don't look at people for who they are, the content of your character, not the color of your skin, as Dr. Martin Luther King talked about. Sometimes we don't realize that. We're all in this thing together. Sometimes we play the victim. Sometimes we go back to slavery, chattel slavery, and all of that. At the end of the day, what are you doing today? Being a part of the United States of America, where you can do anything that you want to do. I look at ancestors and even things back then that they took the smallest things they did not have and made the best out of them. That just shows the strength of the people. And even at the end of the day, we all are in these things together. My child is biracial. It was, I didn't look.
My future kid's gonna be biracial, sure. Because
guess what? My grandmother's biracial.
My mom's biracial.
We're all in this thing. It's all about the human race. I really believe that, truthfully, right?
Yeah, I don't really
come
think
together and we look at our differences and we recognize at the end of the day that we do have something that's in common. At the end of the day, we have to come together.
You know what? I have a disagreement. A really big disagreement. And you guys probably, and that's why I said right now, in my standpoint, I'm not a Democrat or a Republican.
Oh, no. I'm with you on that. Truthfully, I'm very libertarian in my views. I'm very libertarian in my views.
Both parties cry about the other party. You know what I mean? Republicans cry. They both cry oppression. Republicans, they cry that they're oppressed by the criminals. They can't do nothing. They can't move on with their lives. They can't do this because of criminals and this, and all the minorities are against them. The LGBTQ. I mean, every time I turn it on, they're crying about something. It's not like an accomplishment. It's like, accomplishment. The military accomplished this. We are celebrating. No, it's nothing good. It's always something. Crying about.
I've used the idea of WWE wrestling. Like you have the good side, then you have this bad side, then sometimes the bad flip over, and then now they're on the good side, and it's just entertained, and you're watching.
The whole thing.
With my community, it's so weird because of what I see, and I live in Chicago, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Oh wow! Okay.
No, that's the thing.
Now, are you close to Dalton?
That's the thing. A lot of people lump Chicago in one big category, and it's 17 different parts of Chicago. Only South Side is really bad at all the 17 parts. So,
how far away are you from Dalton?
I'm West Side Chicago. So, you have West Side, you have downtown, then you have on the opposite side South Side, or Heidi Park, then South Side. So I'm on West Side, that's closer to Skokie. Or closer to Lincoln Park and stuff like that.
Our first show is going to be about a mayor there from Dalton. From Dalton, Illinois. So I definitely hope you'll come back. And that's just it. You're welcome to have any views you want. That's not what this is about.
That's not what it's about.
You don't have to agree with us. Sometimes it's good to disagree. Okay. But the
Okay,
thing
I
is,
like
when
that.
I say community,
Well,
I
you
mean
know what? The other channels that I've been on, they love this type. They love to have somebody on that they disagree with because they all aim at me, and
Oh
then it's like a
no,
whole lot.
no, that's I mean, my background again, like I said, is a teacher, right? My background is a teacher, right?
Yeah.
I'm a teacher. I have a background as a teacher, right? So at the end of the day, I was a history teacher, right? And with history, you have to disseminate whatever information is given to you. Being a historian, you can't just look at one side. A true historian looks at both sides of the aisle and also welcomes other information in, because you might have some information I've never heard before. If I don't agree with you, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look it up and look, where did she come from? Because at the end of the day, it's about diversity, man. Diversity of thought. You think
That's the thing. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in
no,
diversity.
I'm saying no. You didn't listen to what I said. Diversity of thought means you think different than I do. Your experiences are different than I am.
Agree
I'm
to
not
disagree.
looking at the. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I thought you said diversity of all. I didn't think you said
no.
The
diversity of thought. Okay,
I agree with
your
that.
life experience is totally different than mine. I'm a man. You're a woman. You live in Chicago. I live in North Carolina. So what you might see is different than I am. Give me your perspective and let me feel. Let me understand where you're coming at. Because again, what happens with today's views is everyone puts everything into a generalized box.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. A generalized box. What you see is different than I am. Like I said before. When they talk about Chicago, the first thing you hear about is crime. When you go to North Carolina, y'all country, you don't know where I'm from. You don't know what my experiences are. So even when it comes to you're black, you're supposed to think this way, or you're either a Democrat or a Republican. At the end of the day, that does not matter.
I don't even identify as a race. I identify as a human.
And guess what? You are entitled. You live in the greatest country in the world, where you can go ahead and think that you can think like that. And I can appreciate you even for having the courage to even come on this show and be able to show your opinion. I'm gonna learn something. I'm gonna learn something from that. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome to come back, and I hope you'll enjoy the show. And if you have something that you disagree with, come on back. That's what this is about. It's about, in other words, when I say community, make sure you understand. I mean, everyone has a right to view anything they want. That's it. You are a woman. You've lived your life. You have something to bring to the table. Community versus what's going on in the popular.
I'm gonna publish this little
out there is what I'm concerned about.
And one thing I'm gonna tell you right now, what the world, politics is all, even when it comes, the world's about division. Division makes money, y'all.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Look at the Real Housewives and all.
I mean, I think it's good to have division. Honestly, I know that's weird,
but when it gets to a point where again, it's okay to be we can agree to disagree from each other without being disagreeable. You know what I'm saying? Without stepping over the line. I can recognize what you're saying. I may not agree with it, but at the end of the day, guess what? We got to stand hand in hand in this thing together, right?
Workplace and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't think. But I think, It's you know what's crazy? My old conservative channel that I stopped going on like 2 months ago. I just recently stopped. I unsubscribed and everything. His name was Chaotic Truth. And he's an upcoming black conservative guy, but I had recently just stopped subscribing to him because he always had this which attracted me to his channel, I'm not oppressed, nothing, I'm stone hearted, sticks and stones don't break my bones. I live in the greatest country, America. He's moving up the scale. So he's getting up to like 10,000 subs. So like he's getting there. It's good because when I first came across him like 3 years ago, he was only at like 300 subs. So he's doing pretty good. But I recently, me and him cut ties, and I still go back and look at the last live stream I was on with him, because me and him got into it big. And he went overboard, but basically he took a turn where he just started, and that's what made me push back. Like, I'm not I fuck Republicans. Like, I can't do Republicans no more, because I notice it's a pattern. They cry, and it feels like I'm listening to a Democratic, but the only difference is, they're not using black, because he made a live stream basically calling Joe Biden racist, and basically he was just crying racism, because he said Joe Biden called LL Cool J boy and stuff like that, and he was just like, And I was just like, that's so weird, because when the white guys come on his panel and use the nigger word, which they do all the time, he say, why y'all put so much energy in that? We need to be more stronger. That word shouldn't affect us. That don't bother us. But then, like, when a Democrat says something, he cries. So I'm like, that's hypocritical. Like, it's either are you oppressed by racism or are you not? You know what I mean? So it's just, I feel like people who cry oppression, and maybe it could be my dark soul or my dark energy, but like, I'm say a lot of people think like, oh, you don't have any feelings. I'm monotone. Like, I really don't. So to hear a man or a guy or, you know, any sort crying and they're just whining and whining, it really like turns me off. And it's like, yeah, let me unsubscribe.
All look at racism today. Racism today, when they call it so watered down, it makes no sense. You know, I've been a historian, okay, and understanding what people's true racism look like, even around the world, it still happens, right? What true racism looks like compared to what we call racism. You know, it's something that truthfully at the end of the day has been so watered down, man. You know,
it's so overplayed. So
it's so overplayed, man. It's like I'm gonna throw racism, and like the same thing on one side would say I'm gonna throw racism in there to get one side riled up. But at the end of the day, it's like this. You know, I guess people are gonna be who they are, regardless. You know, you show me who you are. But at the end of the day, it's not going to affect where I'm going to go with my own life, you know. So it's just, I understand where you're coming from. I really appreciate you for, you're
welcome, and I'm so glad I found a new Republican channel that I can subscribe to, and I'm gonna clip this and put this on my channel because I'm getting up to 1,000 subs, and I have to create a whole new intro and stuff like that. Like, I'm not even making content at the moment because I'm just moved into my apartment and stuff like that. So
I love the name I appreciate you so much. Thank you.
Well, congratulations, and thank you for your opinion. I hope you'll participate because I'm sure I'll probably say something that you won't agree with. Or not, you know, but
what day is it?
But yeah, like me personally, I have dealt with racism twice in my life, and I'm an old lady. Okay, I'm almost 50 years old.
Oh, and that's not much then.
Oh, you know what you talking about?
Oh, you right. Well, you know, hey, that's a joke. But I have dealt with it in my face twice. The first time, it was a guy that was belligerent. He was drunk. You know, he probably didn't even know where he was alone. And he just started spewing out hatred words, things of that nature. The second time was in a little small town in Tennessee. I don't even remember the city. And I was driving for my nephew's company. He had these beautiful brand new trucks with our names on them, you know, and I come pulling up, you know, a black woman, you know, by myself, brand new truck. And he's just teed off. And you know, the guy who owned a towing truck company. So he added extra $600 onto the tow. And yeah, and I was on the phone and, you know, whatnot with my headset, and I didn't see him motioning me to, you know, come his way to move the truck. And he just bammed on the window really, really hard and said, get that off of that music and listen to what's going on. And it blew my mind. I jumped. You would have thought I was from the 1400s, the way I hopped off his ass. Like, I spoke for all the ancestors that did have to go through slavery. Because that's one thing we're going to be talking about, is that all of us aren't descendants from slavery. And see, that's the thing. I want to get into history, because it was more of us that are descendants of the natives, okay, who have this country, who started this country. But that's a whole nother story. But the thing
I dealt with I wouldn't say, now that's the thing, I don't call it racism, I call it hatred, because I've dealt with hateful white people who have spilled, you know, they called me a nigger before, but at the end of the day, I looked up the word nigger and I'm like, what is so bad about it? Because when you say the word, all black people just go and I'm just like, what is and it's like, it means an ignorant person.
Ignorant person, but not ignorant.
A freaking black woman is way worse than that.
but I'm not ignorant who that person is.
That's what I want this channel to be about, because you're right. We treat each other worse than far worse.
Exactly. That's why I don't call it racism.
Say that.
My thing is, by me calling if we're white person,
these type of conversations.
Exactly.
We've got
a white person.
Just because you've got this melanin does not mean that you are a queen or a king.
But you know what? I have this other thing too. Is I want
to work for that, and that's one of the things that irks me. But
that's the
thing.
They always say this thing.
Some of my personal views that I feel we as a people have to come together and understand.
That's what I disagree with. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't believe in a black community. I don't think that's going to happen at all.
I'm 100% with you guys. But one of the questions I want to bring up, and I want all you just to think about it. I'm agreeing with you saying what you're saying. When we say we as a people, this is the thing I look at it. They always say it's for the culture. What is the culture? That's the question I want to ask. What is the culture? Because at the end of the day, you know, when I see people, they always go, "Oh, it's for the culture." Okay, what is the culture?
It's dysfunction. You know? That's what it is. A whole lot of crime.
That's one of the. Because you see certain things like, okay, you know, like this. I see a post on Facebook when the girl was like, "This is for the culture," and they had "sexy red" on there. I'm like, that's not my culture. That's not my culture. That's not how I think. I'm not for that. Don't put that a part of me.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. I used to strip, and I plan on going back.
Well, you know, I did too back in there. But like, you know what I'm saying? Don't let me bring out neck bone back.
It's easy money.
Boy, that was my stripper name. Neckbone used to get it back in the day. I ain't gonna lie.
I don't believe in trying to better the black community. I think that we all need to disperse from it because it's just bad. It's been now African communities. I think they're okay, you know. But like when it comes down, I'm not talking about unity, but when it comes down to the black community, I believe
you're talking about the African American
people who descend from slavery. You know, I think the brains is just very dysfunctional. Even in the 90s, it was they even have an era that says the 80s crack babies. I mean, but you know, it's really dysfunctional.
It's a little deeper than that, and it goes back that when they talk about the Willie Lynch letter and all that stuff. That's true. Real talk.
It's really dysfunctional.
But it's mental slavery was it affects all of us, no matter.
Yeah, and I just think you guys gonna be mind blown when I say this. I've always had this viewpoint. Anybody that know me personally know I have this viewpoint. I think that's why my channel is bad blood in the common ground. I think the African American blood is the bad blood. I don't know why, but every predominantly black community is poor, dirty, and full of high crime.
Hold on. This is what I tell us.
One, my family were wealthy, okay?
Right.
Like,
so
I've got a side of my family that are hood and all of that, of what you would probably say. But my parents raised me with millions of dollars in their bank account.
But do they grow up in like
every black? This is one of the things I'm gonna tell you. This is one thing I'm gonna tell you.
Do they live in white communities though?
We got to stop talking in generalities because at the end of the day,
because we and TY and I have an opportunity throughout.
We're totally different. You know, when we talk about generalities, I got two sides of my family. One of my side of my family may not be affluent. They're a little hood, a little bit. You say they're a little dysfunctional, but I got the other side that's very, very well connected, wealthy and things like that. So, and we got to go back to the history.
I agree.
I think generalizations. It exists for a reason, though. Like stereotypes exist for a reason.
What type of people? But
why do they exist?
Excuse me.
Because it happens.
TY, before I forget, this is the thing. What I want you to know, okay? You have your experience, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And in this experience that you have is through your eyes. So
right.
I want you to understand. Most importantly, that third eye is your first eye. So how you visualize the world that you're looking at tomorrow. So everything that you took in today, you're creating your tomorrow. So if you've internalized those things, then this is the life in what you see, then that's what you're going to get. And it's okay because you're growing, you're learning.
That's it. That's what it is.
So wait a minute. We can make generalizations about like there are some racist white people out there, right? Like the story you told, right?
Yeah,
but we can't make generalizations about the Black community.
I'm gonna tell you, they say
of course, there are tons of my brothers, sisters, whatever you want to call them, that I wish I could shake them to understand how much they are enslaved, how much that they are bringing themselves down. I see it every day.
Can I ask you a question?
You know, we see it. We see it first point. We see people who are mind control zombies, who are not appreciating anything in their life other than drugs, crime, and anything that's not good for them. So we see it. But the thing is, that right there is what needs to be changed. And me personally, I'm dedicated as a grown woman, as an intelligent woman, to help those people, because no one is outside of myself. So anytime I, make contact with someone, I can see a part of me in that person. The all is one is all. As above, so below. As within, so without. So very few of those people will even make eye contact with me because my vibration is far too high. For those who are at that level, they can't touch me. Like, I've been on this internet, sweetie. Last month, I had a guy to actually tell people I went to jail for selling a 39-cent can of tuna. Okay. 39, and I'm thinking to myself, like, who in the hell would believe that? Now, me personally, I don't even eat tuna. Okay, I'm okay. I like salmon. Okay, but the point is, that's a person with my melanin that is bringing me down when he knows more than anyone how I wanted to build people up. But that's just it. That's one person. That's one person. And by me being myself, people knew it was a lie. And for those people that were ignorant enough to believe it, well, they're just where he is. And once again, my vibration too high. They can't affect me or my world. See, those type of people, they belong where they are. Okay, they can't affect me nor you unless you allow it. But if you're allowing yourself to think that these people are generalized in this section, then they beat you. They beat you because it doesn't.
I don't think so. I just think it's my reality. Honestly, I respect your viewpoint, and I respect, you know what I mean?
I have dated some of the most wealthiest men I've had. Lord, I have dated men that had a lot. I've dated men that had nothing. And some of it came out to be good. Some of it came out to be bad. Okay. It was how I perceived it and what I could get from it. And that's what I encourage you to do. That if the next time that you see a person that you might think is one of those stereotypical type.
Oh, no, I don't do that when I meet people. When I see people, they always start out on I always start people out on a good, it's like a clean slate. But I do realize
you meet me where they are.
Yeah, I do realize when I meet people, like if I was to go up to people and start I'd probably be mean to people. You know what I mean? I don't do that. When I see people, it's like, oh, well, I like his shoes, or I like the, little earrings she has on. You know what I mean? That's the first thing I think of when I see a person and I go on about my day. I just had a question for you though, Wicked Angel. I like the name.
Wicked.
You It was just interesting because you say you're conservative, but I just had a question. When you say or when you explain something that a white person did that was hateful, you call it racist. But if a black person
himself was a racist, okay.
But why? Because he was hateful?
Where I was, the town where I was is predominantly known by the KKK. I found that afterwards, okay. And the reason why he came off on me like that was because we were a minority company. And he's one of those who don't even believe that a woman should make that kind of money in a truck. That was against everything that he.
So do you believe that black people can be racist?
I do believe that black people can have hatred, and
you know what? No. For me, I'm with you on that. I agree with you on that. They are, and I'm gonna be honest about this. Let's be real. Because at the same time, too, for me as a black man,
I'm sorry, but I think hurt is hurt, and I had a white friend.
I'm gonna tell you as a black man, how I see it. You know, me as a black man with a biracial child, the most I'm the most racist people I see within my own community, and believe it or not, black women. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Black women on the black side, with the white side, they say white men. You said are the most racist. You know, because I hear the comments, I see that, you know, and I see it. I'm a part of a group on Facebook where, you know, they'll put a biracial couple on there, and the first one to talk bad about the person is a black woman. You know
what? I think that's dying down a lot. I think that's the older generation, because the younger generation of my kind, we date white men, and I've never dated a black guy. I've always dated
I'm not that much older than you. Look, at the end of the day, my generation's not that much. My generation probably is the one that really started that.
I don't know, because I see, you know what, and it's crazy because I've been all over the YouTube spectrum, and I see like passport bros and like people who divest from like black women, but it's like I also watch another channel that's coming up, and they promote thousands of black women who are younger who date out. So I don't know. I think it depends on where you live, because where I live, I literally, after like I hear all of them say like black women are going crazy about black men walking with white chicks, and I actually went out in public and actually tried to do some observation myself, and black women in downtown Chicago wearing their natural hair, they're either walking by themselves or walking with a white man or another race of man.
But you know, I want to say something. For me, this is how I look at it in 2023, man.
I don't think nobody.
It bothers me that we have that conversation about interracial, because at the end of the day, if we think about it, you know, the Loving decision out of Virginia.
But people better get used to it, because that's the new norm. Okay.
This is what I'm saying. I mean, just think about it. Why, when we even talk about this conversation, love is love.
It is. But you know what I mean? For me, you're entitled to your generalizations, like you just said. You know what I mean? But I said you
but let me play devil's advocate.
Entitled to your
devil's advocate.
Yeah.
And I say this in TY, my ex-husband is of another race. I've got biracial children as well. 3 children.
It's very common for black women to date out.
So let me play devil's advocate. A lot of times I feel that when there is an interracial relationship with, especially a black male with a white woman, it's the idea that you might have had something better than that. You think that, you know, that the sister, I'm just going to use that, you know, with the quotes, you know, is it at, you know, on the same level as your so-called.
Well, you know, this is the beautiful part for me. This was my first interracial relationship in 42. You know, it's the first time ever getting, and it wasn't even thought about. This was not my type or anything like that. I just fell in love with her personality. She was so cool. You know, we met each other where we are. I never thought I was gonna, you know, be in an interracial relationship. You know, I remember one girl like, "Are you into white girl?" Well, I'm into people. I'm into where if you love me and you show me respect, I'm there for you. I started to a point where we courted each other. We got to know each other. And guess what? I'm going to honestly tell you, first of all, one of the most loyal people I know, you know. Now, there is a cultural difference. There are totally
It really is.
It's a cultural difference, right? Like her side of the family, it's a cultural difference. It really totally is.
I have to say it's a cultural difference altogether with white. I think white is better, in my opinion. That's why I think black could breed out. Like, I think that we are not.
I would love to introduce you to some of my friends.
Yeah, we are not a community. We're dysfunctional, and I think it's best for both parties.
Well, at the end of the day, for me,
this brother that's sitting on the stage now, and I've got another brother that's about to come up. These are great African-American male men who are doing their thing. So these would be 2 prime candidates for you to so-called date. He's taking.
Well, me personally, I'm not really into black. It's not even just that. It's more so the features too. Like, I really like white men. I like the way they look.
You're attracted to them.
Yeah, I'm really attracted to white guys. I've always been with the brunettes, but it's really my main goal is a blonde hair, blue eyed, and everybody wants that. Okay, but like my goal is that one day.
Well,
mine is chocolatey and chocolatey and chocolatey, strong.
And you know, and that conversation, like I said, everyone has their own preference. Everybody got their own.
And that's why I said, with the generations that's coming, a lot of black women. Even when I go on about my day and stuff like that, and I go to Starbucks with some of my friends, they're on the same page. You know, a lot of black guys in this new generation are not really looking at black chicks, and a lot of black chicks in this new generation.
You can't really say that because at the end of the day, when it came to
that this person, and welcome to the chat. I love your comment. And the Kabbalion. Yes, I have studied the Kabbalion. That's another topic, something I would like to be discussing at a later date. Thank you for that. Okay, they said race cards are a scam placed by the elites to push agenda so that we keep hating each other. Color doesn't exist. It's just levels of consciousness. And I think, Gabriel, thank you for that, because that's what I was saying earlier. That third eye is not the third eye. It's your first eye. It's how you view things. It's what internalizes and creates the world that you're living in. And if you're going around thinking that blonde hair, blue eyed, that white men are better, that white people are this.
Oh, I didn't say. I just said as far as looks. Yeah, I think they're better looking.
But we all have preferences. I mean, for me, it's a preference. Like you said,
and it is a preference. Off of that topic, just getting away from that topic alone, I'm just basically saying it's better and it's healthier when, like, and I noticed with the newer generation, when both parties date out, it's more healthier, even when it doesn't work out. You know, it ends on a good note. You know,
but what you're saying is, you want
a white man.
Okay, but look at what you're saying.
It goes perfect, and a classy black man walking with a white woman, it goes perfect. You know what I mean?
Okay, well, let me ask you a question. Do you have a problem with making the white race obsolete?
I don't have a problem with that at all. If we can build their numbers, I really don't care. You know what I mean?
Wouldn't be building their numbers, because once they
a lot of biracials don't date black. They typically date white.
That's just it. You would create what's already melanated, which would turn them into black. They would literally cease to exist if everyone felt like you do.
I don't think I'll cease to exist because I'm still alive. As far as my bloodline.
No, listen to what I'm telling you. If through your views, if every woman that's listening, if every woman right now said, you know what, I'm not gonna date a black man anymore. I want to date a Caucasian man with blonde hair, blue eyes. The Caucasian race would cease to exist, and we're
13%. Well, we're less than that now because there's a lot of biracials being born. Like,
are you talking about in America? Or are you talking about in the world?
I'm talking about in America. I don't plan on leaving this country.
Well, that's what I'm just saying. What she's talking about on her state, she's talking about in general, talking about black in general.
Well, I have to disagree with that worldwide.
This is the thing we gotta look at. You know, if we want to go back to biology, we want to think about history, and that's where I
go off of imagery, and I think, and I don't care about anybody else's science or this and that. I go off of what I can visually see. When you mix with a white woman or you mix with a white man, that baby will always come out looking more white skin, different hair texture, never really have nappy hair like that. Like, I'm just being honest here. They typically have curlier or straighter or wavier hair. They take off of the side of the white. And that's another reason why I want my babies by a white man, because by going off of my own trauma that I don't want my kids to go through. Growing up, I've always watched, like mixed race girls get told that their hair was fine, but I got told all the time, I get perms now, I would never, ever wear my natural hair. I always wear wigs or straight hair.
This is the thing when it comes to having
because I've always been told that my natural hair is nappy, is unkept, is gross. I get treated differently. Like, nobody comes up and address me when I have my natural hair.
That sounds like a lot of trauma. That sounds like a lot of trauma. Even when you say...
Oh yeah, and it's trauma that I'm gonna make sure my kids never have. I'm gonna make sure if I get financially stable.
But this is the thing I always tell you. You say you want your child to be by a white man, but your child will never be white. That's the thing.
They don't have to.
They're always going to have that. Listen, I'm just saying.
You know what I mean?
Biracial child, right?
Oh
it's
yeah.
It's also something.
And your biracial child is not going to have to worry about being stereotyped when he grows up.
Another thing they're going to have to do with him, he's going to have to recognize. Okay, he's going to get to a point where I've seen where there's a lot of confusion too when it comes to I'm multiracial.
Because you guys not letting them know that they're half white. They are.
Okay, yes, you're half white, but at the same time too, when you got to check a different box when it comes to that little piece of paper in that form.
No, you check multiple boxes. My mom does it all the time.
But why?
Check multiple.
But why?
Because she's not just one. My
why
mom
should
is.
You have to do that though?
Because she is. What you think of it as a problem or something like that? My mom.
No.
It's normal.
You're saying
it's normal though.
Easier. It's easier being a biracial child. It's not easier being a biracial child.
My mom is biracial. Yes, it is.
I understand. My grandmother's biracial. My grandmother's Irish. I have 2 white people. My grandmother's Irish and black. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm not all. This is the beautiful thing about being black, right? You can go down different generations. He looks just like my grandmother, and my great grandmother is white from Ireland, right?
I'm just saying, I personally.
But the thing about it is, he can have a child, right?
I think it's easier to have a biracial child because a black child can come home crying about their their hair texture and.
But check this out. But that one child, your biracial child, can have a child, and that child can be darker than him. That's how
that's not gonna happen.
And shout out to my nephew.
That's not gonna happen though.
Yes, it can.
How come it didn't happen with my mom?
Very dark skinned with beautiful.
Give me a video.
What
are you darker than your mother?
Give me a video. No, I don't speak to
any of my family
members. I don't speak to any of my family members.
You're darker than your mother?
Oh yeah, I'm darker than my mom. I thought you said talk to my mom.
But like I said, but she had the child. She's biracial. She had a child by a black man.
My dad is darker than you, so that's the reason.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. And my dad's lighter than me. And guess what? My mom's lighter than me. My mom's very, very light, right?
I don't believe that.
2 shades of milk. Guess what? I'm darker than both of them.
I don't believe that.
So
but like I've never.
That's how bloodline works, man.
Can you show me any famous people who go through? Because I've never seen 2 light people like your baby get together and create someone of your color. Like I've never seen it.
It happens. There's also black people. There's also black people who have had blonde babies too.
It's like a transgender trying to force someone that he's a.
Transgender has nothing to do. Transgender can't have no kids.
Yeah, but I don't want to believe in that, and you can't force me to.
It's not the fact of me believing. It's just I'm telling you my bloodline. Though you're telling me that.
Yeah, but I don't believe it though. I have to see both of your blood.
My great grandmother is white. She's white. My great grandfather is white.
Yeah, but I don't believe in that though, because it's just not. I don't believe in that.
Yeah, but the thing I'm telling you, I'm glad
that you're telling me that, and it's like going one ear out the other.
But check this out. You keep saying that I don't believe in that, but it can actually happen though, because you don't believe it.
It doesn't.
Okay, in your eyes, it does not happen, but it does happen. It does, because I'm living proof of it.
No, I don't believe it.
Well, again, that's the problem.
Yeah, and if you see him up close,
no, the problem is you people trying to force their views on
the lighting.
I'm not forcing my views on you. I'm telling you.
You are though. You're trying to get me to believe in something that's not true.
You're telling me I don't believe it. Like it's not fact.
I'm not gonna
because you don't believe it. Don't mean it's not fact.
Well, I don't think it's not a fact. Not in mine.
But you say you just don't believe it. That don't mean it's not fact.
Different than mine.
Again, you're making it to I don't believe it. And so but it means not.
Yeah, you're trying to say it's a fact. I don't think it's a fact at all.
No, that's my family though. I'm telling you my family. I'm not just coming up with nothing just to make you feel good.
Yeah, but you understand that I'm a hardcore. When I believe in something, I believe, and I don't believe in that. You can say it 1,000. I think we should change the topic. You can say it 1,000.
Your opinion,
topic though. Like I think we got completely off topic. We were talking about culture, and we were talking about why why whoever stereotype.
No, I'm just telling you, you're trying to make it look like biracial, having biracial kids it's better. But at the end of the day, they're still going to have their own trauma. They're still going to have their own issues they have to go through.
It's not going to be.
Like you have your own trauma.
Do you see people on the internet, on media, spreading negative attention on biracials? I don't.
I don't know anything about all that because at the end of the day, my child's going to know.
Red pill. I see red pill and a manosphere. I see them doing that to black women and black men. But
it was very difficult for my daughter. Many of the people watching have seen my daughter. She's gorgeous.
Society is cruel. Society is very cruel.
My mother. She's just a couple of shades lighter. And it wasn't very easy for her growing up because she didn't know how to identify.
No, that's your problem. That's your problem.
That's not her problem. That's not her problem because you got to realize once you're biracial, you have 2 sides, right? You can be black or you can be white. The people that you deal with, white people may not deal with you because you might be darker or you're biracial. Black people might not deal with you because you're not black enough.
Yes, come on.
There's an issue between them.
Yeah. So my thing is, and it's the same thing.
How's it the parents' fault? Because
how is it that a black person how is it that a black person in a white community who grew up by white people, how is it that they don't have identity issues?
Oh, Colin Kaepernick. Colin
Well, a lot
Kaepernick
of
is a perfect
times
example of that.
No, Colbert Kaepernick is biracial.
Oh, yes, he's
Clearly-
biracial. Guess what?
clearly look
He
biracial.
doesn't even claim the white people who raised him. He wasn't raised by black people.
So you
But
didn't
he's
comprehend at
black,
all.
though.
You didn't comprehend
He
what I
wasn't raised
said.
by
You're a
black people.
teacher. You're a teacher. You didn't comprehend at all
He
what I
was
just
not
said.
raised by white people, well, black people, but he has a problem with white culture. He
I
was
didn't say
raised
that
by
at all.
two white people.
I didn't
He
say
knows
that.
nothing
I didn't
about
say
white-
that.
But
But
he does
so
not. He has
you
issues
just
with
going. It's
that.
going. So you can't comprehend at all for you to be a
I'm
teacher.
very comprehensive, ma'am. I
So
am
why
a
did
teacher.
you?
I'm very
Why did you
comprehensive.
go? Why did you talk about
You're
Colin
telling me.
Kaepernick?
But you're
So if an
telling me this.
African kid who's typically brought up by white culture, I have my plenty of family members who's dark skinned,
No.
black.
He grew up by nothing but his white people and the
Why
white
you
side.
bring up Colin Kaepernick
He
though?
did not know because you just said, ultimately, at the end of the day, okay, you just said that
You said
there's no
biracials
other
have
problem.
identity issues. I said it's not because
I
of their
don't have identity
environment.
issues.
It's not because of their environment. It's because of their parents. Because at the
It
end of the
is
day,
because of the
a
environment.
chocolate-
It
no,
is
it's
because
not.
of the
So
environment.
his
Yes,
parents,
it is.
African American boy.
We
his
have
parents
never
loved him
have
so
red
much.
children.
Excuse
I'm
me.
telling you, it's because of the environment.
Excuse me. I'm
didn't
African
raise
American
my
and I was brought
daughter
up in
any
white
different
culture.
than I should as a
I was
woman.
brought up in
looking at-
white culture and I
Well,
didn't have
I'm black. I don't go by the African
Yeah,
American.
there's a whole lot of black people there's a whole lot of black people who were adopted by white people and
I agree with that. That's true.
No,
That
that's
is
why you
true.
don't want to let me finish because you know
That's
I'm gonna
true.
get on that. You know
Go
I
ahead,
you know
go ahead. I'm gonna give you two. Go
you
ahead.
know I'm
Go
a
ahead,
top
give it. Go ahead, give it.
and it's
Go ahead,
like
give
you
it.
refuse. You refuse to let me finish.
So if
because
I was to tell you I don't believe that, like you told me earlier,
You
if I
refuse to
was
let
to
me
tell you
finish.
I don't believe what you say,
refuse
just
to
like
let
you
me
told me
finish.
earlier about
You
my family,
refuse
should I
to
go
let
with that?
me finish because you know what I'm
No,
standing.
no. I don't believe
That's
that.
why you don't want to let me
I don't
finish
believe
what
that.
I have to say.
Look,
Vicky,
I'm gonna let you
Can
this.
I say something?
If an African
Like,
kid who was
excuse me for one
if an
second.
African
Your
kid
speaker up.
if an African kid who was adopted by white people grew up in a white culture, if they can grow up and understand that, hey, I'm different, but they don't have identity issues. They still know they're African. They still know that they're black. If a black kid who's your complexion grew up in a white community, they don't have identity issues. They know they're African American. So it's not about your culture of where you grow up. It's about your parents who did not teach you that you are who you are.
At the end of the day,
There's
society.
thousands
This
and
is what I'm saying, sweetie.
there's millions of black kids that grew up in
is a
white
relation
culture
to a biracial child.
identity
See, this
issues.
is different.
That is
You're
so.
saying we're talking about a biracial child.
Okay.
You're the reason.
One moment,
You never
guys.
tell
Hold
my
on, one
kid.
moment, guys. One moment. We have another guest up on the panel, Lanice. Are you here, Lanice?
Yes,
wanted
I'm
to
here.
make a comment. Okay, sweetie, what would you like to say?
I just wanted to make the comment, just listening to the debate. And I hear both sides, but for me as a Black woman, I just feel like the things that this young lady is saying is given that you don't like Black women, Black men, or Black people, and self-love is something amazing.
Yeah, when
And
I look in the
just
mirror,
as
I
a
just
Black,
think of my beautiful face. I don't think of you. I don't think of another Black
and
woman. I just
just
I
think of
think
how
you're beautiful. I'll tell you that right now.
When I look
You're
in the mirror,
And
I
beautiful.
just think of when I look in the mirror, I
and I
just look
think
at my
you're
face.
beautiful too. I really think you're
And I
beautiful
think that's
too.
where you guys
But
confuse
just
that. When you say
no, but just
self-love or
what you saying
self-hate,
as a Black woman, like how dare you even say, oh, biracial is better? No
it
one is
is.
better than the next. You get what I'm
I
saying?
think the life experience was
That's so true.
yeah, people are better.
No
There's
race
yes, it
or
is.
anything is better than the next.
I
Like,
think it is.
how
I
could
think
you
white
even
communities are better than Black
compare?
communities. I think white communities are better than Black communities. I think Asian communities are better than Black communities. I
So
think
do you wish you were white?
yeah.
Do you wish
No,
you
I
were white?
just wish I was a better of a part of basically yeah. I
Because
do
that's
wish I
what
was
is
white.
given.
I wish I was white. I do. I wish I
And
wasn't Black.
that's so
I wish
sad
I
because
wasn't.
That
that's so
right
It's
there is
sad.
the
embarrassing.
problem that
It's
you are.
embarrassing. It's embarrassing being Black. What's proud about being Black? What is
What do
proud
you
about it? There's
what do
nothing
you
proud about it.
Well, this is what I tell me from my experience.
Wow.
My experience
No,
being a Black
yeah,
man.
that's
right now.
let's
Miss Wicked, I love you, and at this point, I'm gonna have to step down just because I
I'm
can't
just
believe
being
what
honest.
I'm hearing.
I'm gonna be brutally honest.
I'll be in the chat, Wicked.
Okay,
Oh,
so you're not gonna tell me. So you're gonna leave. You're not gonna tell me what's proud about being black, other than a freaking skin tone color. Like,
Okay, this is what makes me proud of being black. Okay, hold on. You want a question? You want to ask a question? And I'm going to answer your question. I'm going to answer your question from me and my experience. You have your experience. I have my experience, right?
I sure do.
I don't look at what society paints as black. That's what I don't look at, right?
No, I said what's proud about being black.
Hold on. I'm giving my chance. You asked the question.
You're gonna stall because you don't know. You don't even know.
I'm asking you. Look, you have your experience, like we talked about it earlier. You have your experience. I have mine, right?
I like being black because of.
Look, for me, what I love about being black, right? I love about being black is I look at my history, right? I look at my history, even going back to Africa, right? My history going back to Africa. The richest man that ever walked this earth was a black man. His name was Mansa Musa, man. At the end of the day, I look at that part of it and recognize we built the
he wouldn't claim you and he wouldn't give you a penny if you were poor.
I'm trying to tell you why.
I don't know why that's your accomplishment, but he wouldn't give you a penny if you were poor.
But you're being, first of all, you don't have to be there. Well, you can just listen to me, right? Because you asked the question, I'm answering it, right? So I look at we built the pyramids of Egypt. We created geography, we created geometry. At the end of the day, what they painted American society as is not what I paint my society as. I look at, even with the struggle of slavery, of chattel slavery, that black people.
That is the most embarrassing and overcompliment to claim.
Okay, you're cutting me off again. Again, I'm trying to answer your question why I'm proud to be black. I'm proud to be black because at the end of the day, I know my ancestors built this nation, first and foremost. I realized that the first person that ever died in the American Revolution was a black man. I recognize that we fought in every major war that's made this country what it is today. And so what today's society looks like is the direct result of, individuals in politics. And at the end of the day, I'll look at how we've been able to make it out. Now, I asked the question?
We made it out by crying, and we cried for the approval.
No, we did not.
For the approval. Yeah, we did.
That is
well,
not.
Ma'am, at the end of the day, I'm sorry that you feel that way.
The fact that you're proud
this is the thing I tell you.
A white man to let us see. We cried our tears until a white man.
Listen, you're not listening to what I'm saying.
That is so weak.
You're not listening to anything that I'm saying.
Nothing to be proud of.
But
instead of thinking that there's nothing to be proud of, maybe you should start studying more about our culture and familiarizing yourself with the type of people that could really show you what they've accomplished, because there are tens of thousands of us, and that's just it. I have a lot to be proud of. So does my heritage.
So go on with the bullying tonight, because I don't hear anything that's
I didn't come from
Angel, listen to me on this note. Listen to me on this note.
Everything's right is all right. I'm not gonna lie and tell you it is, because
Angel, this is the thing I tell you. Everyone has their own life experiences, right? Everyone has their own life experience. She just sat there and told me she's a product of the foster care system where she was brought up by white people. I understand that. Okay, I understand that you have your own trauma. I'm not gonna say your opinion is wrong because it's your opinion, right? But at the end of the day, you don't have the right to, marginalize or get mad at somebody that just doesn't agree with you.
I would never get mad at you. You're gonna leave with your opinions, and I'm gonna leave with my opinions. But I don't think
and they're valued here. We value you for your opinion.
Yeah, I don't think a biracial being confused about their racial makeup.
And guess what? And you know what? For someone who has a biracial child and who's been around, my mother's biracial, and the stories that my grandmother told me biracial, I understand that. You that's something you don't know about.
Because black people use the one wrong rule. That's confusing part. That's why they're confused.
If you're gonna have a biracial child, I want you to have the same conversation with your biracial child later on down the line.
Can I tell you something? When I have my biracial kids,
okay.
Can I be honest with you? When I have my biracial kids, I'm gonna teach them why they should stay away from black culture, even if.
Well, again, you just said. Hold on, listen.
Wait, let me finish. And they're not gonna listen to you. Hold on, excuse me. Let me say this. And they're not gonna listen to you because your children aren't going by what you say. Your children have an environment that they're gonna.
Oh, they're gonna listen.
Their own society.
Outside of your household, they're gonna make the decisions.
Can I tell you?
it. And
Can
when
I
they
tell you?
see that what you say isn't the way it is,
Oh
they're
yeah, I
gonna
will
come
show
as
them
far
because
from that spectrum as
I
they
would
can
start them
possibly
out.
get. And they'll
Right?
probably be on the show saying,
No,
my mother was this, my mother was that. And they're not, that's your thoughts. That is what you have to deal with
that's
inside.
everybody's thoughts about the Black community.
Self-love,
That's your
sweetheart,
thought.
didn't come from
That's your
color.
thought.
When I'm in the
Unfortunately,
mirror
that's
and
your
I'm
thought.
doing my self-care and my
No.
decisions,
It's
it's
my
not
look.
about
Look.
Look
being
at
black or
look at the
white.
Manos
It's
look at
about
the
the
Manosphere
woman
the
I am.
passport,
It's
bro. They
about the
even talk
woman
shit about
I
the Black
am.
Look, I
community.
don't look. At the end of the day, the passport bowls don't speak for me. I
I'm
keep
just
telling you at the end
saying.
of the day, you speak in
I'm just
generalities,
saying
man.
a lot of any group you come
But you're
across,
speaking in generalities, though. That's the thing. You speak in generalities as if that's what it is.
Even
You know, just
Democrats think
because.
the Black community is bad. Like, come on
Guess
now.
what? That's what you. But believe it or not, sorry to say that, ma'am, you a part of it.
I
Believe it or
guess I
not, to
am,
the day
and
you
I'm
die.
doing my best to breed it
So,
out.
so,
I'm
so
doing
at
my
the end
best
of
to
you're
breed it
part of
out.
it until the day you die. So when you
Yeah.
walk down the street, no one's gonna
Mhm.
sit there and look at you and say, "Oh, she's a black woman that don't like black people." They gonna see you as a black person.
Yeah,
So
yeah, no,
regardless of the
sadly,
fact,
sadly,
regardless of the fact, you know, you
sadly.
are a part of it. You know,
Yeah,
so
sadly. That's why I'm
but
doing
like
my
I said,
part. That's why I'm doing my part.
just
to
for
breed
me
it
though, I'm gonna
out.
tell you the negative and all the other stuff that you know that society paints as what black is not something I subscribe to. I'm
I
sorry.
subscribe to it because I think it's true. I mean, I go into the
Well,
Black community, I
but
have to
guess
lock
what?
my doors.
You have your opinion valued here. It totally is valued here. But
It is. It's reality. You go into
no,
the Black
that's your
community.
reality.
Okay,
That's
you go into
your
the. Okay, you go into the Black community. I have to lock my doors. There's so much crime. And if you
I'm
look
sorry,
at
but guess what? That's your community in Chicago, right? That's what you look at in Chicago. It may not be different here in North Carolina.
it's any
Where I live
predominant.
at right now, I don't gotta lock my doors. I'm sorry.
It's any
Exactly.
predominant.
You don't have to do that.
It's any
So, and
predominant.
guess what? I got black people living all
Let's
around
be
me.
honest here. Let's be honest here. It's any
No, you're
predominant Black.
speaking your
You
truth,
can go
though.
to the panel.
Go ahead,
So can I
Lakeisha.
finish
Lakeisha, you
telling you
on?
how
What's
I'm
going
gonna
on, Lakeisha? How you doing? Welcome to the show, baby. You want to add to the discussion, Ms. Lakeisha?
She might be trying to get her sound together.
Oh, she's trying to get a sign.
tell
Well,
you
Lakeisha,
guys
you
how
get
I'm
on. Come on
gonna
to the show.
indoctrinate my biracials successfully? Indoctrinate my biracials? Can I tell you guys how? I'm not
You
just
gonna
gonna tell
indoctrinate?
them.
Okay,
I'm
go
not
ahead.
gonna do what like white people do to their white daughters, and then they end up rebelling when they go. I'm for one gonna have a very tight, close relationship with my kids, and for two, I'm not just gonna tell them. I'm gonna show them. I'm gonna like I literally drove some of my nieces down Black communities, and they were scared. They lock the doors. No, let's get out of here. Look at this gang of people. They're gonna jump our car. And I show them. I'm gonna show my kids the news. I'm gonna show my kids the communities, actually drive through the communities and show them. I'm also going to show them.
I understand. I get you what you're affected, but one thing I look at it too, and for me and my child, you know, we have a lot of black affluent neighborhoods around here, right? Black people who have really nice houses, who are very wealthy, this and that. I show them that.
Yeah.
You know, all this other stuff right there, I don't subscribe to. Sorry, because guess what? That's not what I see black as. I see at the end of the day, it's a product of the U.S. government, it's a product of the welfare system, that's a product of all of that.
Not the oppression. No, I think we all have. I think so. You do agree. So you are indirectly agreeing that there's a problem in the Black community.
Oh yes,
up there.
Exactly. Yes, it is.
So why are we?
Yes, there are. There are problems.
So you guys.
But do you run away from problem? Do you run away from problem?
And there are problems in another
in the white community.
White people, because
let me tell you this right now. When you talk about that, let me tell you this. Even though
I'm sorry, but wait, let me just say this. But to say that black people are this and that and that like white is all right, you gotta understand that
white is not all right, but I think it's better than black.
Their people are suffering and going through just as much, if not more, than our people.
I'll say white men are the biggest.
Watching the news,
I'll say white men.
You got to know that the news is just a part of mental program.
I don't just go off of the news; I go off of my everyday experience. I'll say white men are the biggest.
You were going to show the children the news,
and
that would not give them an accurate.
Wow, you just literally forgot everything.
No. We listen to what you're saying. We listen to what you're saying, but I also want to understand this too.
I said I wasn't just going to show them the news. I was going to take them out into the real world and actually show them.
That's
take them
not
to
the
Isn't
real
that
world.
really the real world, though?
Take them
That's
to
not the real
predominant.
world.
take
That's
them
the
to
world you're
predominant.
choosing to show them.
So you're telling
You
me that
yourself are showing
no,
them because
All
absolutely.
black people ain't live. Look, all black
They're
people are
aggressive.
not. Look,
you
all
are
black
aggressive.
people don't
you're
live in
going to have
projects.
more
They're very
control than what you really do.
No,
All
they're
black people don't live in
they're
projects.
aggressive.
All black
They're
people ain't on
Doesn't mean
welfare.
you
None.
own
But they're aggressive, and I mean, you telling me a black get together ain't nothing gonna pop off? There's not gonna be no
I've
fight.
had plenty of
I'm
no,
sorry.
not
sorry.
in my family. We
No,
don't
I'm
have
gonna
that.
take my kids to a predominantly black Walmart that I typically go to and show them how it is. You know what I mean? They're
But that's
loud,
not.
they're cursing
But
all over
this
the
is the
place,
thing.
they're smoking. I mean, that's just
Lakeisha,
what
you
it
in
is.
there, sweetie?
It is what
Lakeisha,
it's
you got together?
reality, and we want to turn a blind eye to it and say it's not happening. But then you
But
want
this
to
is the thing.
well,
But
it
this
is
is the
happening
thing.
because it's because of the government. It's because
But,
of this and
but no, we recognize that. We recognize that there are some problems within the black community. But you're speaking in generalities, like that's all black people.
No, that's not what general means.
Are you? No, you are. You saying black is wrong? You said I'm gonna take my kids to the Walmart to say this is what real world looks like.
I sure
You know,
will.
you're black. Are you that way? No.
I sure will.
Because at
I
the
would
end of
teach
the
my
day,
kids. No, I would teach my kids that it's not all black people, but you are taking a chance when you mix. And even if you do come across a good black man, you're gonna create a baby with him, and you're gonna create these darker children that are undesirable. That is constantly.
How is darker undesirable?
Constantly,
How would darker mean undesirable when that is your idea? Because I'm attracted to dark skin, and I married someone, like I said, that is of another race, and my children are biracial.
I'm talking about
my daughter,
the media.
my grandchildren. I've got
but you said the media. This is what I'm saying. You said the media, right?
Yeah,
and
you
I
just
love
feel
my
that something has been
grandchildren,
perpetuated
not
by the
because
media.
of the color of their skin. Hell, to be honest with you, I'm hoping they get a little darker because in my idea, dark is beautiful. That's just it.
I think dark is beautiful too. I sure do.
Complexions. I love the fact that we can have all kind of different.
I think dark skin is beautiful, but I think depending on your color, you go through certain
all
things.
of those things. But what I'm mostly concerned about is what's inside of your heart.
Into your heart, right?
So below.
Congratulations for you, but the majority of the world do not preach that type of
thing. Hold on. You speak again. You're speaking.
Okay, one moment, guys. We've got Lakeisha up here. Let me make sure her sound.
Lakeisha, where you at? Okay, Lakeisha, where you at?
Lakeisha, I would love to hear what you have to say.
We want to hear Lakeisha.
A couple of problems with your sound. You're welcome to come back up, and so is anybody else. And thank you guys for coming up and speaking in the chat. No, Lakeisha, we couldn't hear you. I'm gonna drop the link. When you come on, make sure you click the button that says allow mic. Okay, go ahead, guys.
I was just gonna say, what was I gonna say? Oh, when you have people who have millions of subscribers who constantly come on the internet and get paid to do it. That's why at the beginning I said this is why you don't subscribe to some channels, because they say they're here to help. We want to make the community better, but then you go into it and they're just every other title. As a black woman, I have to focus on black woman stuff more often because I'm a black woman, so I focus on that type of stuff. When every time I turn on the media, black women are gross, black women are disgusting, black women, and it's like I'm not gonna say anything because it's the majority of it is true when they show it. But why would I want my kids to? I know I would teach my kids not all black people are like that, but if you mix with a black man, that little black girl that you raise is gonna have to grow up and hear how awful black women are by other black men who date outside their race. When not you. But there's a whole hate movement. I don't mind black guys dating out, but it becomes a problem when there's a hate movement against my image. So when I turn on those, I don't turn into passport bros like that. But I only get interested into them when they put black woman in the title. That's what kind of attracts, because as a black woman, you got millions of people listening. I want to know what's being said about me. That way when I go out in the public, I kind of know, how people think about me. You know what I mean? So when you have hate movements against people like me, it does make other black chicks not want to create black babies, because it's like they're going to grow up and hear all of this. I'm taking it well because I don't even give a shit, but I have a feeling that my kids are not going to take it well. They're going to hate being black. They're going to, if they're a woman, it's going to be a fighting battle. You wear your natural hair, you call it nappy head, you wear weave, and you got black guys on the internet basically, you know, saying you're a Boquisha, you're this, and talking about your weave. Then you wear your natural hair, then you have the black guys on the internet saying, oh shit, that shit look nappy, it's unkept. It's a losing battle. It's a losing battle. Not you.
I get you. I understand. I understand. You know what? I'm really intrigued. I love this conversation that we're having.
I like you. You're a good one. You're a good black guy. I like you. But like the thing is, there's other black guys who just spread hatred. And it's like there's black women like Cynthia G who spread hatred. But again, I'm not a black man, so I don't really focus on that stuff. Call me selfish, call me a heartless person, call me monotone. But yeah, I only focus on stuff that pertain black woman because I'm a black woman. I care about myself.
Going back to trauma, it's a lot of trauma. I keep hearing this thing, and like I said, this trauma. It's a lot of this stereotype that put out there, how the media portrays. Like I said, my mom's a black woman.
No, it's about protection, honestly.
You know, and like I said, when I'm teaching my son, and what I'm going to teach my son, is respect all people. Respect all people.
I think you should teach them the truth.
Take them to love. Huh?
So wait a minute, that's hypocritical. You're going to say that there is a cultural difference. You said there's clearly at the beginning of the show, you said I dated a white chick, and I have to say there is a big cultural difference. So you realize there is a cultural exactly. So why don't you teach your son that? Why don't you teach your son that? That there is a cultural difference.
There is a cultural difference. There is a cultural difference. Show your son.
You're bouncing back and forth. You're
No, I'm not. There is a cultural difference, but at the end of the day, like I said before, respect has nothing to do with culture. I'm gonna respect you and meet you, like you said. I'm gonna meet you where you are. There is a cultural difference between the white people and black people. There are, because there's different experiences. There are different experiences within the black and white community. There are. Okay, but at the end of the day, my mother always taught me to respect all people and meet people for who they are. Treat people with respect.
Yeah,
I don't care if you're black or you're white.
Yeah,
that's how my mother taught me.
Yeah, for sure. You know what I mean?
Okay, just give me a moment, guys. Lakeisha, welcome to the panel.
Hi, Lakeisha.
Can you hear me, or are you trying to speak? Because we can't hear anything.
It's a good conversation, I have to say.
Glad to have it. I didn't think it was going to be this long.
I didn't get too stressed out though. It's a good
nah,
debate.
You good.
I don't mind. I'm not mad at any of y'all. I'm gonna come back on. I'm gonna come back tomorrow. I might be a regular on your show, Mike.
Well, you are welcome back, and I want you to know, like I said, it's okay to have a different opinion, but I do want you to have a little bit more open-mindedness, because life is about growth. That is what you come here for, this human experience.
If I thought you were bad, I would have never came on this show. When I saw this channel, I said, oh, some people talking, and how did they get recommended to me? Who are these people? Let me click on this, and I've never thought, oh my gosh, she's dark skinned, she could be bad. Like I don't think that when I see people. You know what I mean? I think that's where the confusing part is. I can acknowledge that, hey, customer service, if I work at, I don't know, let's say Popeyes or something. I work at Popeyes. Let's not even do that. If I work as a nurse, I understand that. Let's just say if I'm a restaurant owner, how about that? Perfect. And I think that's the confusing part. I can understand that with different race of people, there might be a bigger percentage that this might happen and this might happen and this might happen. But I also understand that, hey, I don't know this person, and this person could be a good person. I don't even think of that when I meet a person. When I meet a person, this is how we go. Hey, how you doing? When I say, hey, how you doing? I'm not even thinking about like, oh, this person's skin tone. Oh, she could be like this.
Well, may I be honest and tell you what worries me most is, let's say you meet this blonde-haired, blue-eyed guy that married you. By what you've said and in your personal view,
I don't think all blonde-haired, blue-eyed
would be thinking, or you yourself would be attracted to someone who would think that you were less than them. And
no, majority
serve
Oh
some
yeah, you're gonna be like really.
Your views, he would be selling for something lesser than.
Oh yeah,
and
for
that's only
sure.
by your views.
I'm the slave in a relationship. You're gonna kick me down after this.
I'm not no slave now. Come on, man.
It gets real freaky when I do. I let them know I am the slave. They are my master.
Oh wow!
What
is that? Your hold up, that's her fetish.
I call every white guy I'm with master. I let them know that I'm in control.
Oh, now we get into the nitty gritty. Okay, so now we're getting to the nitty gritty of why you feel like how you letting it show.
No. You know what? I tell you, at the end of the day,
she's turning black. She blushing. Look at her turning black, y'all. Look at Keisha. She about to come out with it.
No, I let every white.
I'm gonna tell Massa.
I let every white guy know that I am less than, and I do whatever you want, and I'll you can tie me up, and but don't get it wrong. I know that there's.
Oh my God!
I've heard that before. There is a fetish that's called race play. It is called race play. There is.
I look at white guys as
I have heard that before. Again, my background. Again, like I said. If I talk about before I had a family, before I was a teacher, before I had a college degree, before all that, I did have to make a little money back in the day. And so there is, I didn't do that. I didn't do that. No, let's take that back. I didn't do that. But I heard about a thing called race. Okay. So I understand where you're coming from. There is a thing where certain dancers that I used to dance with back in the day, they would subscribe to that. They will actually take on Johns or they would ask them to do those things. And so I understand where you're coming from. It might seem very, very, for me, it's not in my league. But at the end of the day, I have heard that before. So again, I'm not shocked.
Look, at least I'm taking red pill advice. I'm the woman. I'm submissive.
I'm not shocked. Again, like I said before, and it's so great. I never would have thought I would have used it as something I would have to come back. Oh, Lord Jesus.
Now, that's something I want to get into as well. A woman being submissive. What is being submissive?
Oh, Lord. Now,
as our role as women, have we got
before we change the topic?
That'll be another topic.
That's another topic. That got to be a whole different topic right now.
Can I answer one of your questions before we change the topic? You said something about not all white men are good. When you get with a white man, you're going to think, no, I honestly don't think that highly of them either. As far as good behavior goes, I think in this country, specifically in this country, Asian men, Indian men, they're not problematic in this country. They're just really quiet. Those are the good ones. But as far as the two obnoxious race of people, white men and black men, but the crime is completely different, but it's not, I wouldn't say it's too much better, but I would say majority of white men are pedophiles and child rapists. A lot of them. Let me tell you this
one thing. You said two races of men, two groups of men. You said are the good ones, the Asian ones and the Indian ones, right? Mm-hmm. The ones and the Indian ones, between them, you'll be more likely to be accepted within the white and the black family than you will be within their family.
When you say Indian,
we talking about from India, we talking Pakistan.
I don't know an Indian that was born here. I used to date a South Indian man who came.
But guess what? They will date you. They will have her, but they won't really take you to their family.
That's fine. I don't want marriage. I don't want marriage.
That's what I'm saying. That when you talk about these certain families, like I said, cultural differences, right?
That's another thing. I don't believe in marriage. I believe in sexual freedom. See?
Okay.
You guys are getting to know a lot about me today. Like,
you know what?
I think everybody cheats, and I think it's for a reason because we need freedom. Like, you get tired of people after a while. Are you still with that white chick? Or you got another white chick? Because at the end of the day, we all like flavor. We all like different. Nobody's going to be with someone for 40 plus years and not cheat. I just don't believe in that. I just don't believe in that.
Like I said, man.
I don't believe in it. I think if it does happen, that they're in a very stressful relationship. They're arguing all the time. They're tired of seeing each other every single day waking up. I believe we as human beings should not be in relationships. We should not be in marriages because it's literally
but there's a difference between having sex and making love. That's a huge difference.
I don't know about you. That's all that matters. I make love when I'm in. That person might just be having sex with me, and that's all that matters. It doesn't matter to me because as long as I'm getting my part, and you know what I mean. I believe that's what benefits. And that's the weird part. And I know some people be like, well, but you say you want kids, so you're going to teach your kids friends with benefits. And I'm just like, no, my kids, whatever they want.
I'm going to say this, ladies, and Angel, and should I call you Bad Blood?
My name is Anna.
I'm gonna call you BB and C. Okay. Bad Blood and Angel. It's been great having this conversation. Angel, I look forward to starting our new podcast.
Yes,
I got the little one with me. It's time to put him to bed. So again, I'm going to pull out. It's been a great conversation. And again, come back, Bad Blood, for real. Please come back. We promise you a lot of our conversations and our content we have is going to be definitely great for us to have these great conversations. This is a great little start. I appreciate y'all.
I appreciate you too, TY. Thank you so much, Nick Bone.
Bye.
Don't be putting my name out there like that. Come on, man.
Y'all have a blessed night.
Have a good one.
All right. Thank you so much for coming up.
I don't believe in I don't believe in relationships. I believe, like, if I was to be very, very in love with some guy or something like that, I think that he should go out and, as long as he wrap it up. And that's what the thing with me. I always wear condoms with every last one of them, because it's like, I don't trust them, you know what I mean?
Have you been in a monogamous type relationship that went wrong, or were you always thinking like this when you started being sexually active?
I didn't always. I'm on 10%, by the way. If I do plug up my charger, then I'm gonna have to unplug that and stuff like that. I just moved into here, so they're trying to get everything fixed. They didn't my fire thing that's going off. But when I first started out, I did have that mindset. I want to get married. I didn't lose my virginity until the age of 20, believe it or not. You know, because I was raised up by the foster care system and group homes, and I finally got out of my group home. Group home is adult, like, supervision. Like, they supervise you all the time. So when I turned 19 is when I think 2 months before my 19th birthday, I got out of group homes and finally decided to explore. And I'm like, I'm gonna wait, you know, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna keep on waiting for the right guy, you know. And it's just like, it just wasn't happening. I'm just like, you know what?
Okay. Now I'm a little bit older. I'm 48 years old. Okay, I've been married, but I'm divorced. I was married for 14 years. Got children. I just had my first grandchildren. So I know a couple of things about this here world. Okay. And
do your kids watch this show? Do they know you? Do they know you here?
Yeah, they do.
With me, I'll
say this. My sons probably tap in every now and then. My nephew watches whatever, but they don't tell me when they're watching, because I think they don't want me to change anything of how I act. I think they
that's right.
They get to watch and don't know that I'm watching. You know that they're watching me. Yeah. But let me tell you. You deserve everything that this world has to offer, no matter how big or small. It's up to you. And the relationship that you deserve is supposed to be bigger than life. Okay, you want that relationship with the man.
No, I don't want a relationship now. Like I'm 24 years old. I had that mindset when I was like 19 and 20, and
my daughter's 23. Okay, so I look like a daughter. You literally could be my child. Okay, my oldest is 27. So what I'm telling you is the same way. Okay, 7 years ago, you were a different person then. And 7 years before that, you were a different person, right?
Right.
Like when you were 7 years old, I guarantee you by 14, you were into a whole lot of different things, right?
Yeah, of course.
You hit 21, you weren't like that 14-year-old you were.
No, I wasn't. But I get what you mean. Like I'm 24 now, so I might think something else later when I'm 30. You know what I mean?
You're going to, because life brings change, okay? And that change, it occurs within you. And I'm not coming from a judgmental place, okay? I'm not judging you. But what I want you to know is that you deserve every single thing that life has to offer, no matter what your race is, no matter how big, how small, and you decide what those things are. You've got to start knowing that You've got to start knowing that self-love has nothing to do about race. It's not about I'm a black woman, so I'm
That's what
this,
I'm
I'm
saying.
that.
I
It's
look in
about
the mirror.
I am a woman.
When I look
Okay.
in the mirror, I don't go like, and I think that's what people. I typically just agree. Like once they come out with that, oh, you're a self-hater. I just like, yup, you're right. But honestly, when I look in the mirror, I'm like, damn, looking a little good. My eyes looking a little
But that's
good. And some things I
physical.
think of myself, and it's like I'm looking sexy today, and oh shit, and then sometimes I look in the mirror, I'm like, oh shit, I got this spot on my face, I need to get rid of that. I never look in the mirror and be like, oh shit, I look black. Like I never look in the
But
mirror.
my thing is, but get outside of that, because that right there is superficial. You're supposed to feel like you're attractive, even when you're not. When I was
Yeah, but I
older,
think it's super.
I was like a bomb chick. Now that I'm 48, I look like I'm 48. I might pass for 45, whatever. But that 20-something-year-old woman can't fit where this 48-year-old woman
But you don't
is.
think something's wrong with?
Are different. You get what I'm saying? What I'm telling you is you have to self-reflect and you have to decide what it is you want in life as far as what makes you feel good.
I
And
think that
it
makes me feel good, not having a
be
relationship at all and being sexually freedom. And that's another thing. That's why I like sexual. That's why I believe in sexual freedom, because I feel like I'm on 8%, by the way. That's why I believe in sexual freedom, because I really believe that after a while, like I've tried to be in a relationship before, but after a while, it's like a lot of questions I have. I feel like I'm in prison. Like, hey, where you been all day? Hey, where this? I'm an introvert, so I don't really speak to people that much, and I don't call people that much. I like to go on about my day. I like to move around a lot. I like to be out as much as I want and not have to answer to people when I come back
Are you
home.
an empath?
Huh?
Do you consider yourself to be an empath?
I don't know what that means. What is that? I never heard of it before.
Okay.
Like introvert?
I want you to take a look. You can take a look on YouTube even from
I'll look it up on my
a
free time.
couple of YouTube videos. Just type in "Are you an empath?" or "Am I an empath?" and you'll get tons of videos. But the reason why I say that is because everything is energy. And your energy, you're reflecting it outward. But you have to learn to reflect that energy inside,
That's
so
the
you'll get more out of the outside.
No,
Like
and
in
every
other
time I
words,
try to learn how to
a
settle down,
woman can be sexually free. Don't get it twisted. Okay, I have fun. I'm 48 years old. It's
Yeah.
probably nothing you can say could shock me. Trust me. Okay, I enjoy life. But the truth is, we as just me being a woman, I know what I want as an older woman, and that wouldn't be me to be free or me to experience different dicks or have sex with different partners. It would be to have that companion, that person that pushes me to be better, and that person that accepts me.
and I think everybody has, and that's the beauty of this
Okay,
world.
guys, hold on a second. I'm gonna drop that back up.
I think that's the beauty of this world. We all have different beliefs. We all have different wants. We all have different personalities. Hello. We all have different, and your wants in life could be completely different. That's why you have some women who are happy and lonely by themselves. There's so many people. I wouldn't believe everything on the internet, but I believe that there is some women out there who are really like those women on the internet that come on here and say, I'm glad I can sleep in. I don't have no children. I'm 40 and I can do this. I can travel all I want. Yeah, I take care of my nieces every once in a while, but they get draining. So I just send them back and they remind me how much I don't want kids and stuff like that. Like, is some woman out there who really, now I do want kids, but is some women out there who are really like that? I don't believe in relationship because I just get tired of looking at the same person over and over and over again. Eventually, with my crazy ASS, eventually it starts, some arguments start or some fights start. No physical. I don't get physical, but eventually, after looking at people for so long, it start, my mind start deteriorating because I'd be wanting some peace and quiet. Majority of my time, I like my peace and quiet. I like my but every once in a while I want to go out with new people and meet new people and explore. So I just get tired. I can't imagine myself with the same person.
And that's why I asked, do you consider yourself to be an empath?
I don't know what that is. So yeah,
I want you to take the time out tonight, or tomorrow.
I'm gonna be honest with you. The way my mind works and how I'm all over the place, I'm probably gonna forget to even look that up when I leave from here. But like,
I want you to come back, and I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna stay on you about that. I think the world is going to open up for you when you realize what's making you feel like that. And I think your views can change. And I have hope for you. I feel like you're a beautiful young lady. I do feel that you do need to be shown the good things in our melanated people. And I think you should be ready to work on helping our society to make sure that our people don't have some of the problems they don't have. Okay. So guys, I'm gonna go and wrap up this show.
I have to go. I'm on 6%.
I'm not sure why. I thank you guys for coming up. Everybody who had an opinion in the chat. I've been reading the comments. I think this was a very cool show. We're gonna be talking about different topics, guys. We're gonna be talking about things that are gonna be entertaining. They won't be so serious. It's a little bit of everything that's going on in our community. I'm going to use the word community, but it's our word. Okay. So with that said, I love you guys. Thank you so much for coming by. Sorry for the echo. Thank you, Bad Blood, for coming up and just being honest and letting know, letting me know how your views are. They are a little different than the majority of us, but it's okay.
And a lot of
we gonna get you there. Trust me, believe that. I love the fact that you can express how you feel. That's what makes it important. Okay.
Some people might ask. Some people might ask one another, oh, well, if you know that you have a different belief than someone else, you're a Christian and you're an atheist, then why are you going, if I'm an atheist and you're a Christian, why is me as an atheist going on this Christian channel and trying to, if you know that there is no common, because I was laughing because the person in the comment section said she needs to just change her name to Bad Blood because there is no common ground. No, the purpose, a lot of people might ask, well, you're not going to get anywhere going on that channel. So what? Well, it's because a lot of people tune in and listen. So if I can convince a lot of people to think like me, then I think I am kind of, benefiting or maybe you come on here because you think
let's have a conversation and show people that there are people that think like you and people that think like me.
Yeah. And
either way.
I'm on fire. I really like.
I don't know why I'm echoing. I don't know what's going on. I'm just gonna go on and end the show.
Are you echoing now when I put myself on mute?
Yeah, for some reason I'm echoing. I'm not sure what's going on. I did get a message saying that StreamYard was having some problems. Guys.
It's me. So I promise you, it's me. Everywhere I go, I make everybody echo unless I put in some headphones. I have to put in headphones. I don't know why. When I put myself on mute, I bet you won't hear no more echoing. Let me put myself on mute now.
Okay, put yourself on mute. Okay, can you guys? Yeah, it is you. I think so. Okay.
A lot of people be like, "Oh, it's the honor wrath."
What do you have? Okay. Well, with that said, you guys, I enjoyed the conversation. Get ready for a new show. Hope you guys like Ty. He's a fun guy. Like I said, we're gonna be having some fun. We're gonna be talking about good news, bad news. We're gonna be talking about what's going on in politics. We're gonna be talking about cultural things. We're gonna be talking about history. We're gonna be doing interviews, and we're gonna keep it real. I keep it lit. Y'all already know if you've been watching. And if you're new to the channel, please stick around, subscribe, hit that like button, and I am out of here. I will see. Oops. I will see you guys soon. Love you. Peace. Whew, what a show. Good night, y'all.